till my heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah. Every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me in a way I never understood. In every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get you. Yeah, it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me. I never understood every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know, I just know I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in. Lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I get you every day, all the way. You get me in your eyes. That's when I'm free. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood it. Every little smile, every little move you do, baby. I don't need a reason. I just know I get you. I get you, yeah, I get you, you get me, and I get you.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream, y'all. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button as you come to the building, y'all. Also, if you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. So make sure you guys are doing that. All right. As you come into the building, hit the like button. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hope y'all are doing well. Shout out to Taekwon in the building. Alex, I am Alex. What in the building? Ryan from the 8. What's going on, Ryan? Det the Reaper 6449. What's going on? Eugene still in the building. How are you, Eugene? Shamar Phelps 1986. Shout out to you. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody in the building, everybody who supports the channel. Pharaoh, what's going on, Pharaoh? What's going on with you? Thank you so much for being here. Shout out to y'all. Listen, as you come into the building, hit the like button, y'all. Guess what, y'all? We back with another Cheyenne Bryant video, child.
Oh my God.
So, you know, happy Thursday to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Happy Thursday. I thought today, I don't know why I thought today was Wednesday, but it is Thursday. Jeez. The week go by so fast. So it's Thursday already. Shout out to y'all. Happy Thursday, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. Listen, back with another Cheyenne Bryant, Miss Independent in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. We back with another Cheyenne Bryant video because, you know, stuff just keeps surfacing as it relates to the Cheyenne Bryant situation. And I want to just share it with y'all if y'all haven't seen it already. So In light of the Cheyenne Bryant situation without, about her degrees, her credentials, her licenses, or the lack thereof, people are coming out. And there's this woman, an alleged former client of Cheyenne Bryant, who is speaking out. Now she spoke out about the trauma that she's gone through and the things that she experienced, and she allegedly went to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant for help, and she didn't get the help she was looking for. But she's speaking out, and she's been getting some backlash. So she's speaking to that because somehow people are coming after her because she's just telling what happened. And I think that that's crazy that the people who are, who've had these experiences, people are trying to come for them. I just think the world is so backwards, y'all. But look, we already know that. It's just a lot going on. But I want to get into this video. I kind of put them all together of some things people have been posting about Cheyenne Bryant. And this lady is the first one. And then we're going to go on to a clip that Torre, and if y'all are familiar with Torre, he has a podcast on YouTube right now. And he also talked about a podcast that him and Cheyenne Bryant and others had together where it was a bit rocky and they had an on-air, issue, which I want to play that as well because I think there are people who have had experiences with Cheyenne Bryant, but a lot of people were not familiar with that or privy to that. And that's why there always have been people who've been saying, who people who allegedly knew her were saying she's not a doctor. People been saying that she's allegedly not a doctor. But the public, the viewing public, are always the ones who get the information last. Like, we don't be knowing what's going on because we don't have everyday, interaction with these people. So the folks that do, they know a little bit more than we do. By the time we get it, it's old news to them. People have been saying in my comments that they already knew this was allegedly the case, that this lady didn't have this licensing and these degrees that she's claiming. But there's some other claims as well. We're going to get into it, y'all, and then we're going to wrap this up. I'm not going to keep y'all too long today, but I wanted to pop up here for this. So listen, as you come into the building, hit the like button, y'all. Support the channel via Cash App or Super Chat. If you want to get your questions or comments read, make sure you're supporting in that way. Also, just hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, y'all. But let's go ahead and get into the building. What's going on, Avenge the Ancestors? How are you? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Let's check this out. Here we go.
I want to make this very clear. I want to thank everybody for support, but also you have your naysayers in the background. Me speaking out is not about me trying to tear somebody down. It's not looking for a platform. I want to educate us. And it's so sad that when we speak up and talk about issues that are going on in our community, the people who speak up get attacked. When you suffer from PTSD and you had 2 suicide attempts, you think I wanted to reach out to her, look for platforms? You think I wanted to reach out just for myself? No, I wanted to help, which is what I have now. And suffering from a traumatic brain injury, things look different for me than everybody else. So please don't put your experiences on me. But what I will say, encourage each other and speak up when things go wrong. Don't attack people for speaking up. Encourage people to speak up. You guys be blessed, but this stuff, we have to start taking care of each other and stop hurting each other.
Now, before we move on to the next clip, I think she's absolutely right. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this woman served in the military and she had a traumatic brain injury and she had PTSD. She had a lot of issues and she was looking for therapy. She was looking for help. And, she spoke up once again. She spoke out about her experiences with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, that the information that allegedly Cheyenne Bryant was giving her was not helping. It was not helpful to her. It was not focused on her mental health and her issues that she was actually experiencing. Basically, what she was saying is allegedly Cheyenne Bryant was not catering to her real issues. Like, she was not given the tools that she needed for what she was going through mentally. And see, this is why I think we have to take this very seriously. If you are not equipped to analyze people, diagnose people, help people, you should not be claiming that you are that type of doctor. This is why this is dangerous when it comes to actual victims, actual people who are actually struggling in a way where they need real psychological help, real people who are trained in this field. So, just giving people word salad and just telling them what you think and about yourself is not going to be enough for this type of situation. You need people who have clinical like clinical psychologists or mental health specialists, people who are designed and equipped and trained to handle people who are going through these types of things. And so that lady gave her testimony or her experience of how it was with Cheyenne Bryant, and she explained something that was not in alignment with what she needed. And she moved on, but she has a right to speak out on her experience. I don't understand why people, because you like how somebody look or you like, what they appear to be saying and it works for you, that's fine. But if you find out that this person is not who they're alleging that they are, and people come out and start telling their stories, why do this is where you see the angry lions come out. Y'all want to jump on the person who had the experience as if they're supposed to just be quiet and not say anything. And then another thing too is, I think some people are like, well, why didn't she say anything sooner? People don't, because people all don't really want to like rain on your parade in many cases. A lot of people aren't looking to tear you down. They just be like, I don't know if I should. But when you hear other people who are like breaking news about that person or coming out, it makes people feel more comfortable to come out and say something, because now they don't feel like they're alone, they're by themselves. Because if somebody came out and said something, which people have been saying they believed and alleged that this lady was not a doctor, people were like, oh, y'all just jealous. And this is what people are getting on social media. Everybody's jealous of this lady. I mean, to be jealous of her will mean you will want what she has, in my opinion. Everybody don't want, and it's not claiming to be a doctor or a psychologist or a therapist and all this. Everybody, if you want to do that, you could go to school to do that. If that's what you want to be, what she's claiming to be, many people are. And as we have seen, many of these licensed therapists and people have come out. So if that's something you aspire to be, it's not like nobody's stopping you from doing it. You could still do it. So I don't, that's just another way to try to shame people from saying things about this. I just think that's just crazy. You are entitled to say what your experiences are. Avenge the Ancestors, thank you for the super chat, says, much love, Queenie, to keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate you so much for being here, and I appreciate the support. Thank you. Thank you, Avenge the Ancestors, once again. Let's continue.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is committing wire fraud, in my opinion. Drop the doctor or provide proof, because what you're doing is wire fraud. And each instance is punishable by up to 20 years in federal prison. And an instance is not your website. It's not the one website and that's one count. Each time a person hires you because you induced them to by calling yourself a doctor and a psychology expert when you are neither of those things, each time someone hired you is a count of wire fraud. 20 years each.
Doc, what do you think about the notion of holding parents criminally responsible for their children's behavior?
Now, this is the podcast that I was talking about. And this is the podcast that was called Truth Talks Podcast on YouTube. Check them out if you haven't already. But this is the one that Torrey was talking about in his video about Cheyenne Bryant, how they had this on-air, issue. And it's going to play out in this video. This is why I want to show you. And this is why people don't believe that this lady is a doctor, because she has no self-composure, seems like. She just could come out on a whim at any time. And it just doesn't speak doctor, therapist. This is not somebody that appears to be able to have the ability to be to diagnose people and give the best advice for people who are really going through mental issues or psychological issues or whatever therapists are there for. And so this is why people don't believe her. There are people who just simply know her and know that that's not the case. And then there's others who are alleging that she is not what she claims to be, even though she came out and said that she's not licensed. And now nobody believes nothing she says, and everything. Now people are questioning and looking at all what's out there, and they're putting it all together. Irving Hunt, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Bro says, I can feel her pain. I hope she gets the help she needs. Bryant should be sued for not being trained to help that lady. Listen, I agree. I just don't think that you should be out here. That's like any type of fake doctor, allegedly. Going out here operating or working on people, and you don't really have the credentials to do so. That would be a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's just bad, y'all. I don't care how people try to spin it and twist it and say, "Oh my God, y'all shouldn't be talking about this." This is not good, and this is not good. Thank you once again, Irvin Hunt. I appreciate you, bro. Let's continue.
I said it earlier. I said it's circumstantial. I think that if a parent is neglecting their child of what's needed for them to be mentally stable and healthy and be in a state of mind where they can actually, operate as a citizen who isn't impaired, then I think that that parent who's providing those resources, should not be have consequence or discipline. But again, if you're neglecting your child in any manner, I think there should be consequences to a parent, no matter what, if there's neglect at the hands of a child. But y'all know how I feel. I feel gentle parenting makes for a gentle child. I think that there are rules and in their structure, and there's a thing called boundaries, and boundaries have been proven to create healthy relationships, not just between people, but for that person within themselves. And if we raise kids with no boundaries and no structure and discipline, they go out into the world and they don't understand that, and they end up being in battles, and they end up actually having a lot of issues with law enforcement. They end up being the child that's disruptive in school and class because they don't understand that the world doesn't revolve around them. There's a big world that they are able to participate in, but they cannot be the center of attention to everything. And so I'll end on saying that what I do agree with is that every child is different, that every child may not necessarily need the same level of discipline, but every child does need structure and discipline in order for that child to grow up and be an adult who understands that this is the law of the land, this is how life works, and successful people, not just only externally, but internally, what they do carry at the nucleus of who they are is discipline and boundaries.
If gentle parenting creates gentle children, sign me up. I definitely want to create more gentle adults, especially men. Hold on, everybody, especially men.
You are a gentle.
God, are you kidding?
Very.
Hold on, guys.
Now, see, this is where the issue is going to start, y'all. So he's wrapping up the show and she's interrupting, and it goes off the rails. But I find it very interesting. For people who don't have children, always have the most to say about gentle parenting structure. Yeah, I agree that children need structure, but parents are the ones who have to determine what type of discipline they're gonna implement on their children. Once again, children are different. If you have more than one child, there are certain things that may work for the other one that may not work for the other one, depending on that child. But I think that's up for parents to decide, not somebody who doesn't have any children, and to tell somebody else how to raise their kids. Now, if you see something blatantly wrong, like if you are privy to something that's clearly out of bounds and the child is in danger and you want to step in, that's one thing. But there are a lot of people who have all of this knowledge and all of this information that they've conjured up about how to raise children, how to be a parent, how to be a wife, how to be a husband, how to do all this, and you have none of it. You don't have a wife, you don't have a husband, you don't have kids. How do you know all there is to know about it when parents are still trying to figure it out? So that's one thing. And I just think that's where, she kind of oversteps, in my opinion, because you don't know, actually talking about what needs to be done with the child and actually doing it are two different things. You can have all the great things, and as great parents, you do. You have all this in mind of how you want to raise your child. You want to make sure your child never gets sick. You want to make sure your child is healthy. You want to make sure they're learning and reading the encyclopedia and studying and doing all this. But we know in real life, that's a human being. That's a child. You can kind of control your kids to a degree when they're younger, but you know what I'm saying? You still don't know how that way of thinking and how implementing that is going to affect that child, and how they're going to actually, whether they're going to be receptive to that or not. You're not going to beat them up because they don't want to read a book, but you put it in front of them, you set the stage and all of that. But as they get older, things start to change. Like they start to come into their own as they become young adults and get older, and they start making their own decisions. Now, hopefully they have enough love and respect for you to respect what you have to say, and they listen to some of what you say to a degree, but they're going to turn it to themselves and do what they want to do when they grow up. So, I say this, parenting, to me, being a parent is one of the toughest jobs you can ever do, because you can instill all the love and all the guidance and all of those things into a child, and that child could still turn around and go and rebel against that and do the opposite. You just never know. You can't really say for sure if you give all of these things. There are people who give their children monetary things and just are superficial things because they didn't have it growing up, right? You didn't have certain things growing up. So you give your child everything that you didn't have, right? Hoping and thinking that, oh my God, this is going to make them, into a good person and they're going to be good because they're not neglected and they're not this. And you're giving them everything that they need and want. And then not realizing that you're creating a cycle, that you may be creating a selfish child, that you may be creating something else that you didn't realize. And I'm not going to look at that parent and be like, oh my God, you're a horrible parent. No, I understand that that's what people tend to do. They want to give their children more than what they've had. You want to give them, and you still can, but there's a fine line between giving them the things that you didn't have as it relates to things that are important, like making sure they have a stable roof over their head, a stable household, 2 stable parents, the very things that people like to say their children don't need. Those are the things it's not about how many sneakers you can buy them, not how much they are. It's not about how much money you can give them and how many things you can give them. It's about love, nurturing, stability, a peace of mind. I grew up in an environment where I was stressed out as a child. Okay? Stressed out as a child because the environment was toxic, in my opinion. There was a lot going on and it was scary to me as a child, right? I adapted to it, but I realized as I got older, this is a harsh environment that I was not happy with or at peace with. So I was a very stressed out child in holding it all in because the environment was not safe, in my opinion. So what you want to do when you grow up and you want to create a safe, loving, nurturing environment for your kids, the things that you didn't have. And to me, that's part of the main things that matter. A safe environment, structure, stability, a nurturing household where the kids don't feel like they got to fight or flight, like having a peace of mind as a child that you feel safe and that you're protected by your parents and you don't have to worry about the outside getting in. Those types of things. But yeah, I don't went deep off into that, but I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so I just think people get that twisted. But anyway, Nighttime 1984. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Hey, how are you? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, y'all. We got 129 people. Y'all wrong for this. 128 people, child, 59 likes. I know y'all lying.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. And make sure you are supporting via Super Chat or Cash App, you guys. That helps the channel to grow. What's going on, Lorenzo? What's up, Lorenzo? How are you? Lorenzo in the building. Let's continue, y'all.
That's what we need in the world is more gentle men who understand.
Ray, you're very gentle. And it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
Let's just stop and go back. Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Teray, first of all, Teray.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show.
First of all, Teray,
first of all, we're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host up.
Voice when you're talking to me. Lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Teray, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that. I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, Softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me.
Now, this is the therapist. Look at the lady at the bottom, bucking her eyes like, oh, I know she did. Like, this is crazy. He's wrapping the show, and she keeps talking, and then she get mad and start insulting the man. This is the therapist, though. This is, family psychologist, whatever all the stuff she was saying. Allegedly. Child. The man is trying. Let's continue. He's trying to wrap the show, and she keep interrupting. And he said that they talked about it, but she gets in her feelings and start going off on him. Let's continue, baby. This is juicy.
Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that.
Yes, Lord.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that. Talk to your wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do. That's what you do. You better tap into your gentleness and real quick.
Are we ready?
I've been ready. Been ready.
Ariva, Frank, you guys ready?
Yep.
You ready to wrap this up?
Yes, as I was doing.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Now, that was Torre talked about that on the show, child. That just, Anyway, it just shows you something. You know what I mean? I understand people defending themselves, but this wasn't that. It just she went off real quick because she was out of line. Instead of her saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize." Went into child, talk to you. I mean, child, we've heard this type of behavior before, but this is the therapist. Here's another clip for you guys. And this is of Umar Johnson. So I wanted to play this because Umar Johnson, child, is speaking out on this. He's defending this woman, right? And I have an inkling why. And I'm pretty sure you guys will too, because, it's like people are saying, hey, they're one and the same. Like, both of y'all, he got the school, FDMG Academy, that's been opening for about 20 years now, if not more, and it's still sitting there abandoned and as could be. But he's some type of doctor, I guess, as well. People have challenged that as well. So he feels some type of kindred spirit to Cheyenne Bryant. They both call themselves Dr. Cheyenne Bryant and Dr. Umar Johnson. So he has a kindred spirit to her, and he has something to say. So I want to play what he had to say, and I want to get your thoughts. So make sure y'all let me know in the comments below, right? Let's continue.
Let me speak to my sister. Let me speak to Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. And yes, I'm going to call her doctor. I am. She says she is. That's enough for me. Now, let me state for the record, Art, I have a doctorate, a real one, okay? I'm not saying nobody else don't. I'm saying what I got. I went to an American Psychological Association accredited doctoral training program. I am a doctor of psychology and clinical psychology. I will repeat, I am a doctor of psychology and clinical psychology. I am also a certified school psychologist. I also have 3 master's degrees in the field of psychology, clinical, school, and general. Now, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has exploded into social media space. Her career has really taken off since I first learned of her around the time of my last Nick Cannon interview approximately 2 years ago. I have followed her here and there. She is a stunningly beautiful woman, and she also claims to have her doctorate in psychology. She claims that she went to Argosy University, and I'm not doubting nothing she says because I have no reason to.
But if you have no reason to doubt her, that means you don't do research, Umar. And that's the problem. And he has a problem with people doing research on him because he wants you just to believe him on face value. He wants you just to look at him and hear his good talking points, just like she does. They are very, very much similar. And so this is why he's saying this. If you are all of these things, you have all these degrees too, and all these credentials and stuff, but then you meet somebody or see somebody else who says that they have that, and now people are questioning that. Even the school came out, even the school itself, and said, I don't know if he's doing his research or paying attention because he don't want to. When people don't want to know something, it could be right in front of their face and they still act like they don't goddamn see it. Something could be right in your face, and because you don't want to know, you want to play dumb, the information could be this close to you, and you still want to act like you can't see. So, yeah, of course he don't want to, because he don't want nobody looking into his background. He don't, because people have done that. And hell, Lennon Honor, if y'all familiar with him on YouTube, has did whole documentaries on him and pulled all kind of information out. But you don't want nobody doing that. So, of course, you're going to defend something that's similar because you don't want people going to look into yours. So, yeah, I think it's ridiculous that you will just support somebody blindly and don't want to know their credentials and know if they're legit. That's crazy, because he don't want people to look at his background or ask him any questions about that damn school. That's an abandoned building that's been sitting there for years and years and years and probably will never get open. I said in some previous videos, if that school opened, I would donate some money. But let's get it open first. And so, yeah, of course, he's going to defend her. I'm not surprised, but let's continue.
School closed down. She has some issues with the transcript, the degree, whatever the case may be. She has a book out now. It's a best-selling book, Art, and it's doing...
She has no issues with her degree. She can go and get her transcripts, Dr. Umar. She can go get her transcripts. The school literally posted that she can, of transcripts of anybody who finished that school can get their transcripts. What you mean? There's no issue with it. She said years ago, clearly she was busted in a lie. And now there are actual people who have gotten therapy sessions from her who are coming out saying that it was not good. Do you know that this lady could possibly be getting sued allegedly by people who she, supposedly gave lessons to or whatever sessions to, and these people are saying it wasn't what it needed to be? So somebody who have all of this coming out against them, you just gonna blindly say I support her, and that's just that, and that's called ignorance. That's all it is. That's like if somebody, it's just ignorance, and there's so many ways I could put it to say why that is ignorant and why that is not. That doesn't show that for y'all to be all these doctors and all these things, y'all surely act in a way that's unprofessional and doesn't give doctor, doesn't give psychologist, doesn't give any of that. I don't understand. If y'all diagnose people for a living and y'all are, do all this family practice and diagnose with children and all that, y'all really don't. I mean, y'all are the people that we would look to as a higher example of how you should conduct yourself, how you should go about things. But then they speak in an unethical way, like you don't care about nothing. Nobody's saying, I'm just going to stick with her. Like that sounds very, that does not seem, that seems very unprofessional. And it seems like, what she got, low vibrational. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't seem like y'all know what y'all doing. I'm just, and Azul Maswala. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I will open a Twitter account and become a doctor. Oh my God. Right. The dog ate the transcripts, Lorenzo. Right. Like, it's just stupid, y'all. It really is dumb. And it's like, it does not help people. And there's so many examples of this, y'all. And it just, I don't care how many times I watch something else, it just doesn't make any sense. They don't talk like real professionals and real doctors of psychology and all this. Y'all should have and Umar Johnson could talk you. Well, he could probably talk the delusional women out of their panties. The old broads who sitting there wishing they had a man, they look at him and say, "Oh, this big, tall, big man who's talking some real good shit. Okay, yeah, I'm going to listen to him and send him my money." That's who you could get. But people with some sense realize this all sounds like a grift and a scam, allegedly. You know what I mean? It just does. Y'all don't talk like doctors and psychologists or none of that. Y'all talk. What type of doctor is just going to take your word for it as opposed to looking up your information? Any doctor looking at another supposed doctor and y'all comparing notes, you be like, okay, where did you graduate from? Oh, well, I graduated. You don't say, because I noticed Umar doesn't say a name of a school either. He just say I graduated with this. They don't say the school name. But anyway, maybe I missed it somewhere. But yeah, they don't say the school name. Okay, what year and okay, what's your studies in? Y'all gonna compare notes, and one doctor to another one start hearing the cracks in the stories, start asking more questions. Like, hold up. And then next thing they're gonna look you up and they can't find you. Then they're gonna be like, hold up, I can't find you in the system. Where did you? And then they're gonna start getting the attitude. Well, why the F you looking up my stuff? That's how you know. That's how you know. Thank you, Azu Maswala. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's continue.
Doing very well. She's being interviewed. She's been on Shannon Sharp. She's been on Nick Cannon. She's been on Cam Newton. She's been on Joe Button.
What does that matter? You've also been on a lot of podcasts and all that, but that school still ain't open. Hell, this is the problem. And this is why I blame a lot of those platforms for platforming these people without doing your research, because y'all boost them up. And then when all of this comes out, y'all know where y'all quiet. You know what I'm saying? Why not platform the people who can prove their credentials and talk about what they're doing? No, because she got famous on the internet, and she got famous to the public for her talking points, but y'all really didn't vet her enough to know if she was really a doctor. She's claiming she's a doctor. Hell, anybody could get out there and start doing that and saying, I'm a doctor, and talk good and give you some quick word salad, talking fast and quick. And get everybody's attention. And then everybody says she's cute. They think she's cute. So all that's an added bonus. So she's cute to everybody. She's giving you word salad and y'all just eat it up instead of, really vetting the people for what they say they are. Now, if she's just talking as a coach and she's coaching people in her way, there would be no problem. No problem. That's what I thought she was. I thought she was a coach, a dating coach. So I'm like, yeah, you don't have to have a license to be a dating coach. So if you're a dating coach and you're telling people how you want to coach them, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. When you talking about you got all these masters and all these degrees and you're a family psychologist or a licensed therapist and all of these alleged things. And then when people start to pull you to the carpet to say, wait a minute, what's going on? And then the lies start adding up. Then now y'all want to get mad. And you always going to have the people who probably scamming people agreeing with it. Let's continue.
Right? She's a big name amongst the sisters. She goes on the Breakfast Club.
And her name wasn't that big, even though she said it herself. Nobody knew who she was before she did those shows. Those shows added validity to her name. I did not know who no Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was before Cam Newton and Nick Cannon. I didn't know who she was, and a lot of people didn't know who she was until those shows. She even said it. So that kind of catapulted her and blew her up because we didn't know who she was. And so when we start seeing her on these shows, we start reacting to her content or her comments. But before that, I had no clue who she was at all. And a lot of people didn't know who she was. So let's continue.
And they asked her about her degrees, and she explains about what happened with the school. I don't know the details. I don't care. People
see that right there. That right there. Oh my God. You can't make it up. You don't know the details. You don't care. That's the goddamn problem, y'all. Hit the like button, y'all. 213 people watching, 100 likes. 100 of y'all have not hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the like button, y'all. Support the channel, you guys. That's the problem. You don't know the details and you don't give a damn. That's crazy to me. But if it was your child who was seeing this person and they weren't reputable and they were not licensed and they didn't have the credentials and they're lying and operating under false pretenses, would you care then? Would you care? Because if you didn't care, then I would question your parenting. Because there's no good parent in the world who would send their child to a therapist or somebody that they believe is licensed and they have the credentials to teach and do what they're doing. You wouldn't send your child to somebody like that, believe in one thing about them and then find out, oh my God, they're not even licensed. What? You don't have no, if you have allegedly, you don't have no, this is not really, you don't, what? Then you're going to be pissed about that. Then see, if somebody do it to you, then that's when it hits home. Now it's a problem. But as long as you see it being done to other people, you don't give a damn. And what type of psychologist or, is that? When you're supposed to be held to a higher regard, a higher standard, you're supposed to care about the well-being of people because you have the potential to treat these people to help these people out. So you would think that these people would have a higher moral clause that says, that's in my nature. That's what I'm trained to do. I'm trained to help folks. I'm trained to look at people and look at their symptoms and diagnose them and treat them and give them whatever they need. So you would think those people would understand the legality of these types of things, that you would, of all people, be the ones who would look at this stuff and say, and take it seriously. But when you say you don't know, you don't have all the information and you don't give a damn, as a psychologist like that's why I don't believe that they're that, because that don't sound right to me. It don't sound right to me. East Coast Cab, thank you for the super chat, says, what do we expect from Umar? One scammer defended another scammer. Where's the school at? We all know that FDMG really stands for family, the money gone. Oh my God. I know that's right. East Coast Cab. I know that's right. Yeah, that money been gone, child. And that's why he gonna defend her, because he don't want nobody to keep asking him about that goddamn school. We know FDMG is sitting there raggedy as ever. All they keep doing is painting the gymnasium floor. That's it, child. Oh my God. That's all they keep doing. Painting that floor and giving another opening date years to come. And those years keep passing. This school is supposed to have been open 4 times over. 3, 4, 5 times. Oh, every year he's talking about, we open, never open. And we've been watching it, paying attention. Thank you, East Coast Cav. I appreciate you. And it never opened. So, of course he gonna support. Rogue C 5477 says, hey, DeeDee, talking straight facts. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, love. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Rogue C 5477. Thank you, beautiful. Baby, listen. Of course, Umar would support her. And I said that when I first saw the clip. When I saw him, I'm like, of course you're going to defend her. Look, I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're wrong. That's what they say. The clock, how y'all say it? The clock is right 2 times a day or something like that. Well, I think there's some things that I actually agreed with Cheyenne Bryant's talking points on some stuff. Something that she said, I can't remember, but there was something she said a while back that I actually agreed with her. So this is why, what Umar is saying, and he's going to get into it. telling how he feels about what the problem is. But I don't agree with that because I think people aren't condemning her. They're just calling it out for what it is. Now, if telling the truth is condemning you, then it is what it is. Because, the truth shall set you free, in my opinion. So if you telling the truth about what you have, it wouldn't be an issue. And people got to stop getting out of this idea of, when you tell the truth about something, that is shaming and bashing. No, it's the truth. And it is what it is. You can't change that. People get mad when you don't want to believe their lies. You keep lying to people and you want people just to eat that up and just say, okay, it don't matter. Like him. You don't know the details, Umar, and you don't care. That does not look good for who you are and what you represent, in my opinion. Let's continue.
People start to roast her and attack her, claiming she's fraud. She then goes on Joe Budden. Shout out to them. I didn't see the interview, Art, but allegedly they say Joe Budden and them asked her some really good questions that left more unanswered than answered. For the past 2 weeks, Art, she has been the butt of everybody's internet joke. Here's what I'm going to say.
She ain't been the butt of people's jokes. She's been called to the front of the classroom. God damn it. She's been called to the front of the goddamn classroom. She's been called to the damn brown and the black carpet for allegedly lying. Ain't nobody really, now people they're gonna joke after they start realizing the truth, but nobody was initially just making jokes of fun of her. No, they was like, first people was in denial. First they're like, wait a minute, she not a real doctor, hold up, wait a minute, what you saying? First they was in denial, and then once more stuff started coming out, now people are realizing, well, goddamn, she been lying this whole time allegedly. They're not really, and then now people start putting memes up like she's related to Dr. Pepper, and what y'all say, Dr. Pepper and Dr. Dre and all these doctors, and making these memes of her with all these people dressed up like they're doctors and in their cap and gowns and stuff. So then it became that, but they didn't just come out the gate just bashing her or whatever. No, people were defending her. And the more stuff comes out, people are realizing, like, wait a minute, as you should. People aren't stupid. See, this is what I think. I said this before. They want people to be so dumb and stupid so they could just keep scamming in peace. Oh, my God. Scamming in peace and just want everybody to be quiet and just accept the scamming because y'all black. No, I don't condone scamming. I don't care what color you are, black, green, brown, purple, red. You shouldn't be scamming anybody. I don't give a damn what race or nationality you are. No, you shouldn't be scamming because that's taking advantage of people. And why would, just because we are black, we should be okay with other blacks scamming the shit out of us? Why? That sounds like we're dumb, like they think you are. Anytime you can get on here and just throw some stuff together and be like, oh, they ain't gonna even check. They don't even know. They ain't that intellectually smart. They won't know what to look as. We could just scam the piss out of them. Let's charge. Come on, get their money and we can lie. Because they think, when they see doctor, they're gonna automatically support. You know what I mean? Because they don't know no black doctors. So, when we say doctor and we put all this up here and they ain't gonna look deep, we could just do it on the surface and they gonna follow us and pay us all the money. We gonna get rich and they gonna still be looking stupid. Oh my God. It's no different from the scam in churches who sit up there and lock the doors. Lock the doors. Close the doors. Why? Because you think people are stupid, baby. I was telling my husband this, but I was like, I know my husband. He said, close the doors, baby. My husband been like, come on, let's go. And you ain't going to stop him. He going to walk. He going to grab my hand. I know he going to grab my hand. Come on. We getting the hell up out of here. And the way he looking, when he's serious, ain't nobody going to mess with him. Because he ain't scared. He shy. He can fight. So what I'm saying is that only work for certain people. Lock the doors. You just gonna lock me and keep me? No, you ain't. I'm gonna show you otherwise. So it's no different. It's like they think people are stupid. I'm just saying. They think people are dumb. And I don't think people are as dumb as they think they are, because this is why people are paying attention to what's there. Now, if you shouldn't just, this idea of I don't know what's going on and I don't care. She is what I think she is. It's just ridiculous. And I think that's the problem with some people. Let's continue.
The doctors of psychology don't agree. Cheyenne Bryant having or not having a doctorate does nothing to my doctorate, Art. It does nothing to my career. It does nothing to my profession. I don't have a need to investigate her. I don't have a need to slander her, to belittle her, to malign her, to assault her. I don't have no need to do anything against that black woman because she hasn't hurt anybody. She is a life coach, Art, and you don't have to be certified or have a doctorate or a license to be a life coach.
And we know that. Umar Johnson, we know that. She didn't just call herself a life coach though. See, he shouldn't even be saying anything because you don't know all the facts. She said she was a licensed therapist for 17 years. They got video proof of her saying this. She said she was a life and family practice therapist and a psychologist and all this stuff for 17 years. She didn't just say she was a life coach. If it was a life coach, it wouldn't be an issue. But she's saying all of this, and she's a doctor of this, and she's saying all this, and then it comes to find out they can't find her dissertation. They can't find her transcript. She can't find them, even though the school then came out and said, you can get your, come on, baby, come on, get your transcripts just to let you know. If you was missing them, here we go. We got them now. So, okay, if you didn't think you could get them however many years ago that's been, you can get them now, honey. Come on down. Go online to the school, pay your little $27 or whatever it costs, and you can get your transcripts, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, and shut everybody up. I say prove everybody wrong. You do a lot of talking and quick talking to prove people that you are what you are. Now prove that you are with the actual facts. Because talking a lot. See, people talk. I said she talked fast. She talked fast, and I don't like them fast, slick, be talking fast and slick and trying to convince people, and then acting like you all this and trying to school other people on this. No, that goes beyond your opinion. You're claiming that you're something that you're allegedly not, and you have to be called out for that. That's it. And if you got the degrees, just show them and move on, baby. That way everybody can eat crow. I know I would definitely be like, child, my bad. I'm not above apologizing. I would apologize with a quickness. My bad, Dr. Cheyenne. I'll give you your doctor title back, even though we know you trademarked the doctor. So you can call yourself Dr. Cheyenne because you trademarked it, but we know that too. See, all the information comes out, was done in the dark, comes to the light. It really is. But if you busted, just admit it. You know what? You got me. That's what I would look. If it was me, I'd be like, God damn, you know what? I tried to pull one over y'all because you know what? I can get some quick money and I needed that money. But goddamn, y'all got me. I'm busted. I did lie. My bad. I'm so sorry. We all make mistakes. I'm human. I thought I could grift, and I wasn't very good at it. And look, you know, I sincerely apologize to the people here who I may have misled or hurt. Baby, I have a whole speech drawn out. And y'all done be moved on because once I done told you the truth, and I just be like, you know what? I'm just a glorified life coach, y'all. But please support me in that if you want to. If you don't, oh well. But the money was good while I was getting it. But if I don't get none now, I understand. You know? Oh my God. That's what I would do. Because once you're busted, you're busted. People are not going to look at you the same. They're not going to trust your word. Now, who knows? She may have some people hanging on and they just don't care. Okay, well, good for her. But majority of people going to look at you with the side eye like, girl, hell no. Not me. But yeah, I just couldn't. I would just be honest with it. I'll tell the truth. They'll be like, yeah, she came out and said the truth. She said why she did it and she apologized. Now, can y'all please accept my apology? That's what I would do, you know? And hopefully, you know, in that case, she hasn't been giving people therapy sessions and was unqualified because now it might be more consequences to you just apologize. But at least I would do that. People are understanding of you apologizing for the most part, instead of sitting there still trying to stand on that lying, alleged ground, acting like you really are something that you're not, even though people see through the BS. Like, come on now. Let's continue.
She ain't misdiagnosed nobody. She ain't done no clinical work without a license. I haven't seen any wrongdoing from Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. So what do I think is going on here, Art? I believe that black women, I'm going to call the kettle black, some men too, but mostly black women are attacking her out of jealousy. They are jealous of her looks. They are jealous of her life coaching career. They are jealous of her podcast success. They wish they were in her position. And because they are not, they are trying to destroy that woman.
Now, I disagree. I've seen all of these beautiful black licensed therapists, psychologists come out and talk about this. These women are gorgeous as well. They don't look like they're jealous at what they're looking at, the fact that, hey, they've put in the hard work and they are actually what they say they are. And they're looking at this person sitting up here allegedly lying. I think if you are in a field, and I said this before, if you are in the field, the same field as somebody who may be lying or grifting or, you know, not being honest, no matter who they are, you would want to call that out, right? Because you don't want to be associated. Because then if you're associated with people like that, then that may have a negative impact on you. If you are a licensed psychologist and you're talking to and interviewing and having meetings with somebody else that claims to be a licensed psychologist or a therapist. And y'all are, because normally these people are in the same circles. They have events, conferences every year, the doctors' conferences and stuff. Every year they have these types of conferences for doctors and psychologists and therapists and stuff. But if you are associated with somebody who's in that same field, and then there's work going around that person may not even be licensed, that they're lying and that they're alleged fraud, wouldn't you want to call that out or get more clarity on it? And then when you realize you can't look up their credentials, and you're like, all of our credentials you can look up, but that one you can't, wouldn't you start looking at that as a sketchy situation? And wouldn't you want to start distancing yourself from that person? Because, birds of a feather flock together. So if you are in alignment with this person and they're allegedly a fraud, wouldn't you want to distance yourself from that? Because you don't want to be caught up in it or be confused as to being a fraud as well. Because you have your credibility on the line, and you have your reputation on the line, and you don't want to lose that, because that is everything, and that is detrimental to your business. If you are a doctor and you don't have any credibility, that's no different from a doctor touching people or doing things inappropriate to folks. And then it gets out that doctor does that. Nobody wants to be in alignment with that, because you don't want to be assume that you are okay with that, and that you believe or you are okay with that behavior. You have to distance yourself, because your business could fail because of it. And I hope I'm making sense. Am I making sense? Let me know, because my brain just going. Y'all, please let me know, because I know I wouldn't want to be aligned with somebody who's doing some things that are not credible, or things that are just immoral, or whatever the case might be. No, because especially if I'm in that line of work, I would have to call that out as a ethical, moral stance, right? And in that type of business, it's all about, ethical behavior. You're supposed to, a code of conduct, right? A way that you're supposed to carry yourself, a way that you're supposed to present yourself, certain ethical codes that you have to follow. You can't just do anything, say anything, act any old kind of way in that line of business, because people know that can directly affect your business when you're in that line of work. So this is why people, including myself, don't believe she acts as if she's a doctor of any type of doctor, any type of psychology, therapy, anything, because you have to really be in a right space along with your training to be a licensed therapist, to be able to treat people and diagnose. You just can't be out here acting a fool. And so people see right through that. And so they just mad that people see it and are calling it out. Come on now. And once again, to be these psychologists and all these doctors that y'all are acting, her and Umar Johnson act like they just, you went, what y'all say? You went to, Baskin Robbins and got your degree, and then came out and said that's when you're a licensed therapist, because they don't move in a way that says licensed therapist or any type of psychological doctor of any kind, in my opinion. Let's continue.
Period, point blank in the story. I've told you before, Art, that black men have a problem with each other, right? We got an ego problem. I think black women's problem with each other exceeds black men's problem with each other.
Now, listen, once again, that have nothing to do with the tea in China. The fact of the matter is, and I don't think a lot of these women are jealous of her. I think that they're just calling a spade a spade. They're calling it for what it is, and they know that this is unethical behavior. That's it. If they have to be held to a certain moral and ethical standard, every person who's operating in that field of work should be held the same. We all know that we hold certain professions to a higher standard, right? Doctors, lawyers, hell, pilots, teachers, people who involve other people's lives in their line of work. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go get drunk and want to fly a plane, because you got all these people's lives at risk, right? So you have to be held to a higher standard. You can't be a doctor and treat people and you just have, no, just the regular old standards for everybody. No, you have to be held to, you have to be more meticulous about what it is that you're doing, and you have to be very serious about your training, because it involves other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But this is why I think in the Black community, we struggle because of this mindset. If these are the psychologists and the doctors that we need, that we have in our communities, no wonder why we screwed. If Umar Johnson is the doctor and the psychologist that we look to send our kids to, baby, we messed up. You might as well train your kids yourself. You'll be better off teaching your kids and trying to give them some therapy yourself than sending them to these folks who say period point blank. I don't think I've ever heard a doctor say period point blank. Except for the black ones that we see. This is our doctors. We got Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, who cusses people out and says she don't give a F about nobody but the fools that follow her. And then this one here, he lying about a school, ain't never got the school sitting there abandoned as forever. Who knows? It's probably still on the abandoned school building list. Sitting here telling me he got a school and he a doctor in psychology and all this. But Lord said period point blank. And we no wonder we screwed. We all cooked. If this is the doctors we got to look forward to. I'm just saying, you might as well add them with Dr. Pepper, Dr. Dre, and Dr. Seuss and all the ones that y'all came up with. We need to just line up. That's it. That's what we get. Oh my God. That's the type of doctors we get in our community, y'all. No wonder the black community is cooked. I'm just saying. Now we're gonna move on. Now, this is Cheyenne Bryant. I think this was maybe like a couple of years ago, some years ago, I think, where she was talking about, now this lady, y'all hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button, y'all. Support the channel, y'all. Make sure you super chat or cash app to support the channel, y'all. That definitely helps the channel to grow, and hit the like button, y'all. We got 270 people watching, 146 likes, y'all. Go ahead and hit the like button. Now, this here took me out, y'all, because this is a video of her claiming that she ran for mayor of Los Angeles, y'all. And this is another thing that people have a lie that they've caught her in. This is crazy. You can't make it up, y'all, I swear. So here's another thing that destroys her reputation and her credibility, in my opinion. Listen to this.
2 black people running. Because I did this with Los Angeles. I was running for LA mayor. And then I seen our mayor, Karen Bass, come in as a candidate. And she was running against a white male, a Republican, and it was neck to neck. And I knew that had I stayed in the race, neither one of us would have ran, because 2 black people will split the vote. Yeah. So what I'm saying, right, Mark? So what I'm saying is, I pulled out so that Karen could win. Right. And she barely won, like Mark is saying, I'm talking about by a needle. Had I even took 200 of her votes, then she wouldn't have won. So I think that Cornell needs to pull back if we want Kamala to win, because he's going to take her votes. He's still black. So
now she says she pulled out the race. Listen to what this lady is about to tell you. Baby, if this lady is not delusional and cray-cray, I don't know what it is. I said it on Jeff St. James panel that this lady needs the therapy she's claiming to give. She needs the therapy that she's claiming, because something ain't right. Even shout out to Crim Secure. The Crim Secure said, her elevator don't go all the way up to the top, honey, child. And we starting to see that. I'm just saying. Listen to this.
12. That's how many people actually qualified for the 2022 LA mayoral ballot. 27 filed paperwork to even try to run, and Ms. Cheyenne Bryant was not one of them. I'm Tanya McKenzie, chair of the LA County Commissioner on Alcohol and Other Drugs, and I keep getting asked if Ms. Cheyenne Bryant ran for mayor of LA. And the answer is no. She campaigned, but there's a difference. Let me explain. There was a website. It's actually still up. There was a banner. There was a Dr. Cheyenne Bryant for LA Mayor 2022 branding. There was some community events, photo ops, the whole production. What there wasn't was a nomination papers filed. There was no candidate statement filed. There was nothing sent to the LA city clerk. So there's that. Her name never hit a ballot. She never made a qualified candidates list. She never showed up on Ballotopia, Wikipedia, or the LA Times Roundup. None of those things happened. But the website is still up. You can go check it out. It still says for LA Mayor 2022. It still reads like a campaign is in progress 3 years later. And that right there is why people are in my DMs asking me if she actually ran for mayor. Because in 2026, a Canva graphic and a confident caption will rewrite history. People don't fact check things. They just screenshot and keep it pushing. So let me be clear with all of you. Announcing a run, building a site, and showing up at a community event is marketing. Filing with the city clerk is running. One is a brand and the other is a ballot. Know the difference, especially before you put it on someone's bio. If you don't control the narrative, the streets will, and it will not be in your favor.
Baby, listen, like I said, delusional. Baby, this lady allegedly seems batshit crazy, child. Oh my God. She seems like, what they call it? Not somebody said a pathological liar. She seems like one of them other kind of liars. You know what I'm saying? A pathological, habitual liar. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, so this lady knows what she's talking about. That lady made it seem like in that interview on that podcast that she was an actual candidate for mayor and she dropped out the race so she could let the other black lady get the votes. And she was never even in the race. Now she signed up or did something, but she didn't make it through. So you're not an actual mayoral candidate. But see, once again, I said this talking fast, and she knows there's sound bites. She's good at what she's doing because a lot of people bought it. So, it's like you say something and you throw mayor in there and then throw mayor, and then people go, oh, she ran for mayor. Oh my God. And she could throw up something to make you think that. The same way when people first start talking about her being her being having a master's in program and all of this, she posted like some couple of days after that of her in the cap and gown where it was this honorary degree from this Christian academy that she got. She got a honorary doctorate from the Christian academy, but it's almost that she was giving a speech like this was actually her graduation, and it's not. So she knows that these little sound bites and these little innuendos or this stuff putting it up front will make people believe that it's true, because people don't research nothing and they don't go past what they see or what you post, and they just, oh, congratulations, and they don't know nothing else. So people put fake stories of being pregnant and they be like, oh, congratulations. They don't even read all the way through, because at the end of the caption it says, oh, this was a joke. They don't get to the joke part because they just see the little bit and see the picture and they just believe it. Well, she's mastered that. If she don't have a master's in nothing else, she got a master's at deluding the public. She knows how to put herself out there. She knows how to grab the attention of people. I will tell you that. That's how she was able to get so far. But when you start really peeling at, looking, you don't even gotta look that deep. Just look a little bit deeper, then you see past that. At Ashy Foot Productions, baby. Oh my God. Shout out to you. Just FYI, I'm running for president of Nigeria, Ashy 2027. Baby. Trust me, I ain't good at polling. Trust me, I ain't good at pulling out. Okay, ask Kendra if you don't believe me, baby. Oh my God. Baby. Y'all a trip. Anyway, baby, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Ashy Foot Productions, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Y'all a trip. Lorenzo says, hey, Dee, did you ever go see Michael? Yes, I did. I'm supposed to talk about that. I forgot all about it, Lorenzo. I did. And I liked the movie. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. Thank you once again, Ashley, for Productions. I appreciate you. But baby, listen, I'm not really trying to keep talking about this Bryant lady, but it keeps coming across my feed and people keep sending me stuff because they want me to talk about it. So that's what the people want me to talk about. I try to get to as many videos that people, I can't get to all of them, but since this is the topic of discussion, why not? So people keep sending me stuff and I'm posting it, but trust me, I don't really care that deeply about what this lady is doing, but I do think I do care to a degree to where it can affect the Black community. And everybody always talking about supporting the Black community and doing all this, but y'all allow this type of stuff, and people only look at support in one way. I just don't think it's a good thing for people to try to scam their own communities. I think you should be working with your communities to better them and help them, not take advantage of them. I just don't agree with that whatsoever. Eco 473 says she also said that she wanted to get her transcript because she wanted to apply to teach at a law school. I heard that. Well, then where's her juris doctor? That's what you're saying. Where's her juris doctor? What? Look, juris doctor. I hope I'm saying that right. Listen, and see, this is what I'm saying, Eco 473. You can't trust what she say now. There's so many people keep pulling out receipts of where she's lying about things and things don't quite add up. How can you trust people? Just move on to somebody else. It's like, no, I can't trust you. If I was looking for a therapist or whatever she's claiming to be, well, now I don't know what she's claiming to be now. I would not go to her. You know, if she was popular all over social media and she was legit, allegedly, and she could prove this and that she has case study or, you know, lives or set, because she said all her sessions. So all her sessions have been live. So you mean to tell me, is this what you consider your sessions of therapy to people, Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, and all of these people? That would turn me off right there. She has a social media presence and she's become popular on social media, but I don't think she's popular within the actual therapist and psychologist community. She's not even known probably in those community and them spaces. People see you as a social media phenomenon, but not a real doctor, allegedly. You know, she's not in those circles. And like we were saying on the podcast, the conversations that these doctors have, we don't see her having those. She's having her own conversation. She has her own script in her head that she's made up to convince people, and people was eating it up. And now that it's come out that allegedly may not be what she's really about, now people have something to say, and that's rightfully so. Thank you once again, Eco473. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and supporting via Super Chat or Cash App, you guys. Make sure you are supporting the channel in that way. If you got all these degrees but lack common sense, you ain't worth nothing. Right. You know, hell, and you know what I just said, you know, people, but once again, she's mastered the idea or the thought that people are just not paying attention. She understands that she could dupe the majority of the folks. Those people know, hey, I just showed them something that's what they're gonna be. Once again, this is why I say she think people are dumb. That people that you can just, you know, present something to a person in a way and they're just gonna eat it up anyway. And so I just think, you know, she's fared well off of doing that. And I think, you know, and the same, I believe with Umar Johnson, same thing. They both operating kind of in a similar way. Now, if he has the degrees that he says, okay, I don't think he's ever produced them. Even though I saw a couple of people say they were able to find his dissertation and they were able to find one of his credentials. Okay, that's more than what we've seen from her. But either way, they still have credibility issues, in my opinion. Because I think when you have the public's attention, you have to be a man or a woman of your word. You have to really show and prove what you present to folks for people to say, you know what, he or she, I trust, I believe because I've seen it and I know it's real. Without your credibility, you have nothing. Once people realize that you're a scammer, allegedly, nobody wants to fool with you for the most part. You might have a few stragglers holding on, just being dumb and paying their money because they don't know any better. You know, everybody ain't got sense, but they don't know any better. But for people who really know, these people aren't going to just sit here and just continue to give their money and time and resources to somebody that's allegedly fake. Come on, that would be dumb on your part. You would be catering to what she already think you are about, and that means she thinks you're dumb because you can pull the wool over on some people, you know, but you can't pull it over on everybody. Everybody ain't just walking around here clueless and don't know how to do a simple Google research to research people's credentials and credibility. You know, every time when I was pregnant and I was going to find a new OBG doctor or OB doctor, I looked up the doctor. I looked up the doctor's credentials. I wanted to see, you know, the ratings on the doctor. I mean, that's just common sense because you want to, if you're looking for somebody new, you want to look up their background. You want to look them up to see, you know, if what you can get on them to see if this is somebody you want to, you know, patronize. But Jesus Lord, that's just why they say the internet is not a real world or it's a different place or something like that, because on here people move different. Eugene Still 598. What's going on, Eugene Still? Thank you for the super chat. Says song dedicated to Dr. Brian. Why the F you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop effing lying.
Oh my God.
Right. Exactly. That's what it is. Look, that's what it is. Thank you, Eugene. I appreciate you. Hell, I mean, hell, I need to get that as a song on here. Yes, sir. I agree. Shit. Ain't nobody like me. She think people are dumb, child. Thank you, Eugene Still. I appreciate you. Yeah. They think people are crazy. And some are, but most people I don't think are. And that's just what it is. Once again, I'll say, girl, give a speech and just give up and just say, you know what, my bad. I lied. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought I could, I grifted for a while, but I'm tired of doing that. I'm going to move on and I'm not going to do this anymore. Slim Daddy 9, thank you for the super chat, says, we as a community have to check ourselves. Those that don't learn from the past are doomed to repeat it. Exactly. That's what accountability is all about. And you notice a lot of these people don't have any accountability. It's always somebody else's fault or somebody else doing something wrong. We could never do anything wrong. We all make mistakes. Hell, we've all made a mistake at some point in life. It's human nature. But you're supposed to correct that, learn from it, and do better. But once again, I always say with women, is a community of coddled women, because women have had the luxury, you know what I'm saying, of being, thank you, Slim Daddy 9. Thank you for that, for the super chat. I think we as women, and I include myself in that, have had the luxury of being coddled, because, and people are saying she's an attractive woman. She is an attractive woman, but it's that what they call pretty privilege. I think any woman who's attractive, or women, have had that pretty privilege experience where people don't quite give you the harshest treatment as they would someone else. It's a real thing, and I think that does exist, but I just think it does not help those kind of people in the long run. It coddles them and it makes them feel superior, and they use that. This is why she could get on that panel and talk to that man like that and not even know how to self-correct and say, oh, you know what, my bad, I'm so sorry, I'm working on that. I do apologize to Ray. I forgot you or wrapped it up or whatever. You can't do that, because you're entitled to something and you get triggered easily and you go off because it's acceptable. Nobody says, hold on, don't do that. They let you do it, and it makes you feel like you can do it. And who gonna check you? And I think that's not, and as women, hell, we go through that. We do that kind of stuff. And I just think, I just happen to realize earlier on that behavior was not right. I say it all the time. I thought, my ish didn't stink at one point. And I thought, you know what I'm saying, the world revolved around me. I thought like that too, as a young woman. I thought like that too. I had to realize, no, baby, get it together. That ain't it. That ain't it. And you want people to treat you, you want people to, you want to be treated a certain way. You got to treat other people that way, and I just think a lot of times women get caught up in that whole situation, thinking that the world revolves around them and that they ish don't stink and that, oh my God, I could do and say whatever I want. Nobody could check you. And that's how, in my opinion, Cheyenne Bryant was able to get away with all of this, because everybody thinks she's cute and, oh, she sound good. Even though, I poked holes in some of the things she was saying early on. I'm like, some of that don't make no sense. Then on top of that, when I found, oh my gosh, she had no husband, no children. It's like, oh, you a fan. First she said she was something. There's so many different doctors she said she was. Family and life practice family practice doctor, marriage and counselor, a lot of stuff. And I'm just like, wait a minute, wait a minute. And something didn't set right with me. But anyway, I still think she can redeem herself. Just come clean. Say, you know what? I lied. My bad. And get it together. But I do think, people in general should be able to check themselves. Just anybody, not just the Black community, but people in general. Look, if you out of line or whatever, you should be able to recognize, you know what, I was out of pocket right there. I'm my bad. That's holding yourself accountable. D_1957 says, Umar just wants to hit like when he met Sukiyana. Child.
Oh my
Who
God.
knows? It could be the truth. You know, he want to keep a good rapport with those women, thinking he can get close to them and hug them and squeeze them tight, you know. Hell, you might be right, 1957. Thank you for the super chat. You probably got a really good point there. Yeah, because I see him, he was hugging Sukiyana like all tight and close, like, oh, girl, give me something, you know? Oh, my God. So you might be right, baby. Shit, I wouldn't put it past him. He's a man, a big man. I mean, so yeah, he see, you know, yeah. So you don't want to say nothing bad. So when you meet her, because he was in the comments talking about it, and she was right there thanking him for it. I saw that on Instagram. I think it was Instagram. He was like, he was talking good about it, and that she was right watching, and she thanked him. Of course, y'all will. You know what I'm saying? So, child, yeah, I don't blame him. Keep your options open, Umar. You are a man, and you know, you might think you can get an opportunity to tap that. Even though she probably say, hell no, I would not, because you're, you know, probably tell him you're not intellectual enough. You know what I mean, child? But who knows? Hustlers philosopher. Thank you for the super chat. Says, once men accept and understand that how a woman looks and how she is going to treat you are completely unrelated. So once men accept and understand that how a woman looks and how she is going to treat you are completely unrelated. I mean, I say it all the time, philosopher. I say it all the time. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for coming through. I say it all the time. You know, a big butt and a smile. What they say, never trust a big butt and smile. That girl is what? Poison. 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 Like you know, a lot of people don't understand that, but a lot of people do. Usually they say the more attractive the woman is, the more conceited she is, the more she's feeling herself, she's into herself, and the more, you know, she expects from you. Because she knows she's pretty and she believes that she has more options. And if she's going to be with you, then you got to bring it, or she will let you know, I will go get somebody else. There is a fact to that. And sometimes there are women who are just really think they ish don't stink and they're so great looking and got the body and all that to match that, hey, I'm doing you a favor by being with you. So if you don't shape up, then I'm going to ship you out and I'm going to go get with the next nigga. That's how some of these women think. They think that because they're pretty and they got the body and you want them, that you should go out of your way to appease them. And if you don't, they're going to move on. I don't think any man should put himself in a position to think that he has to appease a woman in that manner. A woman who's disrespectful, a woman who thinks that because she look good and that you do like her, that she has the control and she controls the cards. I don't think that anybody should be treated like that. I don't think any man should subject himself to a woman like that. I think that woman will always use that against you. She will always make you feel like she has options and you don't. And if you sit there and appease her, then she's right, because now you're showing her exactly what she believes. And because men have done that, she thinks that's just the way all men are. And this is why when those women find a guy that they really like and he don't do none of that, she find herself in a position trying to appease him and running behind him. And then she don't like that either. But because she likes him more than she likes the other ones, she's willing to do it. See, that's how you flip the script. If a woman likes you, she shouldn't have to use that against you or make you feel like, oh, you can't do better than me. No, she shouldn't act like that. And so if you come across a woman who act like that, well, I'm doing you a favor for being with you because, baby, I have options. Leave her right where she's standing. You don't deserve that. Nobody does. You need somebody who's as equally into you and at least want to, work things out and want to be with you and want to try to make things better and work on a relationship and y'all work with each other. Not somebody sitting here thinking that they're the hierarchy in the relationship and she's so this and so that. I don't need you. Well, okay, show her, okay, you don't need her either because she's with you for a reason too. So this is why I think men are, understand that. At least I see men that understand that. Don't deal with those types of women. That's why they hit and quit, but they're like, and ghost. Well, hit them and ghost. Like, no, I'm going to give me some of this good loving and then I'm out. Because this ain't somebody I want to deal with on a regular basis. I ain't got time to be sitting around here dealing with your shenanigans. Baby, I got to go work and take care of myself. You cute and all, but I ain't got time. Give me some of that coochie and then I'm out. That's how because I already see you for who you are. This is why they be wondering, why would a man whine and dine you and do all the things, clock it, all that dumb bullshit. And then you don't hear from him for weeks and weeks or at all. Why? Because he realized what you were about, and he already made up in his mind or made a mental note in his mind. This ain't, I don't want to deal with her. No, she's a bird. Like Crimson Cure said, a bird. She that, but you know what? She got a vagina there, so I'm gonna get some of that, and it's enough. I'm gonna enjoy it. Knock her down real good. I'm gonna enjoy that, and then I'm gonna move on because they don't want you. See, that's the thing. The same way. I don't think you should look at a woman's beauty and her body or whatever that's you attracted to and think, oh my God, I want her, and her attitude stinks. She got a nasty attitude. She ain't showing no type of interest in you. She just got an attitude, but because you think she's cute and fine, you wouldn't entertain her. I don't think men should do that unless you're just trying to entertain her to get the draws. Period. And if you're not about that life, leave her alone. If you ain't trying to get the draws, you don't even want that, leave her where she stand. But that's the same way men will do that. And then women will date a guy and pretend, like she like him because he has money. She's only there for your money because she like trips and she like to eat, because Lord knows she probably wasn't eating no food before she met you. She got to you. That's why they need all this damn food, big old crab balls, stuff I couldn't even eat in one setting. Like they got big old lobster tails and all this kind of stuff just eating like they ain't ate in days because they haven't. Oh my God. They was waiting on an opportunity to get a dude who's going to spend some money on them to get them a big lobster plate and whatever they call all the butter, everything. Because they may not get this in again. This is why they order all that goddamn food when they meet you. Because you willing to pay for it. They're like, goddamn, I got to get it while the getting is good. Because I don't know the next time I'm going to eat like this. But then claiming, because I could pay for this much. You're a goddamn lie. You can't pay for nothing. There's no reasoning behind somebody take you on a date and you ordering everything on the goddamn menu. Because you like, damn, I'm getting to eat. I ain't ate in a while. So no, it's a game that some of these women are playing. Because I am never gonna put, and that's why I like to distinguish it, which we shouldn't have to do this, but I do it anyway. It's not all. There are a lot of good women out here. I don't want men to even think that every woman is the same, because they're not. But typically the good women out there already got a husband, already got a man, or they're content with where they are in life. They're not on here complaining about men and making up these crazy scenarios. No, those women are living their lives just like the men who are living their lives. So I don't put all women in the category. I just like to make that clear, because people seem to think that I hate women. No, I have daughters. How can I hate women and I have daughters? I have sons. I don't hate anybody unless you hate me. If you hate me, that's on you. I can't say I hate you if I don't know you. But if you hate me and you don't know me, you got to go pray. Take it to Jesus. Oh, my God. Because hate is a big word. So I don't hate anybody. It's just, I'm just calling it out how I see it. So I don't believe all women are bad. I don't believe all men are bad. I think we have some bad ones over here, bad women, and we have some bad men. But we don't ever call out the bad women. We just keep blaming it all on the men. And I just think that that's unfair. Period. That's just my opinion. So yeah, so the way a woman looks and the way she treats you is two different things. Project 007, how I say that? 0077. Says they weren't eating, they were grazing. LOL. Child, that's what they look like. Hell, they be eating like they ain't ate in months. I'm just saying. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Like they starved. Like, Jesus, I don't know when I'm gonna get a meal like this again. I'm just saying there's no way. You know what I'm saying? This is why I think a lot of this stuff is foolish. But hopefully it could change, y'all. Hopefully all of this could change and we could do better. I hope we could do better. You know what I'm saying? As a society, as a group, as a Bonnie crew, members of society, I hope they could do better. That's all. That's all I can do is hope. I can't make you do something you don't want to do. But if you're trying to get a certain outcome, baby, you got to think about your options and where you stand and how you can make your situation better. Because it's not all, on somebody else to make your life better. That's all up to you. That's all I'm saying. It's up to you to make your situation better. You can't put that always on somebody else as if you have no type of bearing on your outcomes in life, that there, as if there aren't certain things that you have to do to better your life circumstances. If you don't ever meet a man that's going to be with you or take you seriously, it's you have to take control of your life. You have to make decisions in your life to better your life because it's your life. And then if somebody comes into to that, they can either add on and y'all add on to each other and y'all build upon that. But if you don't have a strong foundation to build up on yourself and you just whatever, you shouldn't expect somebody to come from the outside to come in and just change your whole world. And you have no clue of how to even work with that man who would be willing to do that. So once again, self-accountability, learning what you need to do for yourself is up to you. Your happiness is up to you. You shouldn't be dependent on somebody else for your complete happiness in life. Now, I think people can add things to your life that will bring about some happiness and some, peace of mind and security, but that's your job to make yourself happy, not somebody else's. You could have a man or a woman in your life to give you everything that you ever want, and you still can't appreciate it. Why? Because you're not happy within yourself. You got some old scars and some things within you that you got to work on so that you can appreciate the good when you do get it. People tend to believe that every person that's unhappy, they got somebody making them unhappy. No, you know who the person is that's making you unhappy? It's you. You.
You. You're making yourself unhappy. It's not always somebody else. You gotta be in control of your happiness. And if you can't do that, you can't blame that on nobody else.
That ain't nobody else's problem. And you shouldn't take your issues and place them up on somebody else or take them out on somebody else. They don't deserve that. So as much as women like to say, oh, I need a man to come into my life whole, you shouldn't be requesting that because you're not whole. Hell, I don't think most people are whole when it comes to trauma and issues. I think we're all works in progress. I think we're all still working on our trauma in one way, shape, or form. I think some have gotten to a place where they're better able to regulate it, and you can recognize it, and so you can stop it when you see it happening. And to me, I think that's the best it's gonna be. Honestly, I think people are all can all have that little tipping point. I think we all can have that little trigger that could bring all of that back right up out of us. And if you're dealing with a person who's aiming to trigger you all the time, that's the ones that's gonna get it. That's where you find people who snap because they've been at peace and calm, and then somebody comes into their life and starts triggering their trauma that they've pushed down within, and they've been operating and doing good until somebody just keep triggering that, and then you get somebody who snaps. Honestly, I think we all have that potential. So to me, that means that it's not all the way gone. Have you ever been in a situation or realized that you are not completely over a certain thing? Have you ever just found yourself sitting thinking about some old triggering trauma that you had in the past, and you hadn't thought about that for years, and then all of a sudden it comes up? Have y'all ever experienced that where you either sitting there crying? For women, it's usually we crying, because I've experienced it. Or you're sitting there thinking, damn, you just thinking, like, because usually men just sit there and think like, oh, I should have knocked the hell out of that nigga, or I should have did this to that person who did something to you, or treated you poorly or something, whatever the case. You think that you've over these things, and all of a sudden it just pop up and put you in a different space. You know what I'm saying? So, and you thinking like, damn. So, it happens. So I personally don't think everybody's all the way whole. I don't think we're ever there. I think once again, we could learn how to manage our triggers, and that's what therapy could be for. Or just learning, when you just start getting mad. Because mine was, I would just get, upset for no reason. Like, it's my husband couldn't have done he ain't done nothing to me. It's just sometimes I get in this little funk, and I'm just angry for no reason, and I start acting crazy, And then I've done that before, and it could be a thought of something with my mother or whatever. Growing up or whatever things that transpired from my childhood, it just come up, and then I just get angry behind it because I'm hurt. And then I just start acting different and mad for no reason. Then I realize, hold up, wait a minute, fix that. Do what you got to do, but fix it. Don't break, because the closest person to me is my husband. And so I would go to him and start just picking a fight, like picking an argument, like, just not picking it for real, but just like my feelings is making me do that, and I'm like, nah, girl, you got to stop that. Stop. And when I feel it happening, I stop it. I say, not today. I'm not doing it. And I go out get myself together. And then I go out with a good attitude, because he doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. And I think that's how you self-regulate. You got to recognize when it's happening, because at first you don't recognize it's happening. And I think a lot of people deal with that, but they don't want to talk about it. You see what I'm saying? I'm just honest about it, but I think it can help somebody, because we all have it. We're human beings. I don't think nobody's perfect. I don't think nobody's perfect. I don't think no relationship is perfect. I don't think none of it's perfect. I always say you're not going to find a perfect person, male or female, but you work with where the people are. And if you want to work and grow and build with the person, that's what you do. Understanding that you're not perfect, he's not perfect. But a lot of times we project our own feelings onto that person, and I don't think that's fair. And there are situations where they do the same. All of this stuff exists on both sides. It's just, I find that women, because we are not held to our foolishness, we do it more. Because it's easy to call out a man and everybody will be on your side, even the police. So I just think as women, we get away with it more than men do. So men can't really afford to play victim and do all this, because they're not looked at as victims, which is unfortunate, even when they are. So yeah, that's why I think women need more work, because we're the ones who are looked at as the innocent victims, and a lot of times we're not. That's all I'm saying. We're going to move on, y'all. Latrell M., thank you for the super chat. Says the clock is ticking, ladies. Do it right. Do it light. Do it wrong. Do it long. Shout out to you, Dee. Thank you, Latrell M. I appreciate you for the support and for coming through. Thank you so much. Yeah, but it's just a little bit of, a little information I like to give. Lorenzo says, Dee, you had anger issues. Child, I still have anger issues. Lorenzo, I still have anger issues. I don't think they're, the worst type of anger issues. I think we all have issues. You gotta think about your life, and it really depends on your livelihood. What happened to you in your, I've had childhood trauma. I've had a lot of different things. So, yeah. But I'm able to deal with them way better than when I was in my 20s. Oh my God. When I was young, I didn't even realize it. You know what I mean? So it took some time for me to realize, my own issues. Now, there are different degrees of this stuff. I'm just not a combative. No, but I would be lying to you if I say, I didn't have issues, or I don't have triggers. I would say triggers. I definitely have triggers. I'm much better at my triggers, because I've worked on them. But no, I still, hell yeah, I still do. And it's a funny thing, but me and my husband are to a place to where he can recognize it. I recognize it. We know what it is. The same way he could say, okay, now you done said the same thing 3 times. I'm just saying that's to let me, okay, now let me shut up. Like I said before, it's funny now. It's funny because we can laugh at it now, but at one point it wasn't a laughing matter, because like I said, those things just don't. That's like if somebody hurt you in the past, you get past it and you move on, but sometimes you're not fully over that. And then you go into another relationship, and you realize you're still not over what the last person did to you. I'm just using that as an example. That's not my case. But I'm saying, like, for people, it's just an example I'm giving. Like, you thought you were over somebody until you get in another relationship, and you find yourself thinking about that old person. And then you find yourself getting pissed about how they treated you when you was nothing but good to them. And now you're in a new relation, and you're projecting that energy onto the new person you with for no reason. When that person is not, you're putting that other person's head on this new person's shoulders. You get what I'm saying? I'm hoping I'm making sense. And sometimes people do that. So that means you're not fully healed from that last situation. It's still triggering you. So I think we all have that in one way, shape, or form. I really do. And so this is why I don't think that it's a good thing to exclude yourself, because when you exclude, that's why I include myself, and I try to tell that to women. I get where you coming from, baby. I've been there. And like I said, there's different levels of it. I don't think I was a very quiet person, but just because I was quiet didn't mean that I didn't have triggers. I just was silently tripping. Say that. silently tripping. All the thoughts are in my head. I didn't let them out. And then when I did let them out, it wasn't good, because it's, you can't hold that stuff in. And just because you hold it in doesn't mean it doesn't exist, is all I'm saying. I think if people would start being more realistic about things and accept it for what you can, because I had to do it. I realized holding stuff in and acting like, I'm better and all that, and this stuff doesn't apply to me, it does not help you. Both men and women. I think we all got issues we have to work on. And the quicker you realize them and start working on them, you'll realize it's not such an issue. And this is why people who have worked on them and gotten themselves to a better place, they don't want to deal with these combative people that may trigger them and take them back 100 steps, So that's why I understand that you don't want to deal with somebody who's going to trigger you all day, because you just may snap. You can work on yourself, but we're not God and we're not robots. We're human beings, so we can be pulled backwards. And people don't respect that or don't pay attention to that enough. And then see when a man snaps, oh my God, all hell breaks loose, because for some reason men don't have the room to be, there's no empathy for a man when he snaps, because people don't look at his growth and what he's worked towards and how he's been doing so good until you keep, pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. And then when he finally snaps, oh my God, you just automatically say he's a bad person. And that's how does a man supposed to deal with that? See, us, we could just snap. We don't even have to hold it back. Just snap. Oh, he must have did this to her. He must have did this. It's always somebody else must have did something to the woman. But there's never, oh, that woman must have triggered that man. That man was doing so well, and then he snapped. There's no room for men to snap. So just think about that. Not being able to vent. Y'all can't vent. You can't show emotion. You can't express your feelings because there's a label that's going to be put on you and a stigma behind that. So why do you think so many men are depressed or they say so many men off themselves? Because what else do y'all expect these men to do? And so I understand it. I get it. And I just look at myself and how I want to be treated and what I don't want to be looked at as. And I think about men and what they got to go through. And I just think, I say for any woman who don't understand a man, put yourself in their positions and see how the world treats them. And ask yourself if that's how if you was in their position, would you feel good about being treated that way? Probably not. You probably would off yourself too, or be super depressed. And so that's, and that's just one way of getting it. And then just life experiences, I fortunately, and I say fortunately, had the experience to be married young. And so and I say a lot of the issues, some of the issues we had in our marriage was not because of my husband. Now, I ain't gonna say he ain't perfect either now, but I think out of the two, I was the worst off, especially when I was in my 20s. I feel like I had way more work. He understood marriage, commitment, working with each other. He understood that because he came from that. I, on the other hand, did not come from that. So I had to learn a few things, and that wasn't always easy, especially for him. But people would think, oh my God, he putting her through the ringer and he's doing it. No. I would say it was the opposite. And I wouldn't say like, oh, I put him through the ringer, it was so bad. But no, I'm the one who had to do the most growing. Now there's some things he changed, he had to work on too, but I feel like I had to learn certain things. And either you learn it while you're in your marriage with somebody that actually cares about you. Because if he didn't care about me, that man could have been just left. He could have been like, I'm out. She don't get it, I'm out. This is why I wouldn't be saying they're surprised, but a lot of these men don't have to deal with your bullshit. They could just say, oh, hell no, I see this is a little off. Let me get the hell up out of here and go find somebody else. But my thing is this, either you're going to learn it by yourself or you're going to learn it while you're in the relationship. And and it just shows you that relationships take work. You got to go through stuff. This is why I tell men too, there's no perfect woman, baby. You're not going to find a woman who got it all together. And even if she was raised by a single mother, that might be something you're going to have to deal with or not. But even if she had two parents there, as you know, there are people with two parents who still don't get it. So that is not a end all be all for somebody being what you need them to be. And then you also got to look at yourself too. Are you in alignment with what make a relationship work? Are you open to going through things with your spouse? Because there's no perfect marriage, no perfect situation. You still gonna have to go through some shit. That's just what it is. And you have to decide whether you want to go through it with that person or you want to go through it by yourself. That's it. But it's going to be some issues. Night Call 411. Thank you for the super chat. Says cough cough. Dr. Night Call. LOL. Just kidding. Dr. Night Call. Oh my God. My issue is media normalizing people using trauma/triggers to hurt partners, right? Then treating leaving as lack of love and staying as proof you must endure it. Very good point. Very good point. But look, I say, look, it's your choice. It's your choice to make. I know we have our talking points on here about relationships and who stay and who leave. But, my thing is, and I say do what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, listen, I have my opinion, but my opinion, whether you agree or disagree, that has no bearing on your choices in life and what you want to do and what makes you happy and what doesn't. You have to make those decisions. I made the decisions, and you know what I'm saying? Where I'm at personally, I'm good with where I'm at. So, but my opinion shouldn't dictate what you choose to do with your life. Looking at your circumstances and your situation, that's up to you and the person you with, or whatever. You have to make those decisions. So I don't really have an issue with what people choose to do in their own personal lives. I just give my opinion on stuff. But if you're in a situation and it's trauma for you and you don't want to be there, then you have the right to leave. You know what I mean? It's up to you to determine if it's worth it staying, or would you think you would be better off leaving. And that all boils down to your standards. What your deal breakers are, what you'll accept, what you won't accept. Because once again, there are certain things that people say they won't accept, but they end up accepting it. There are some men who say they don't want single mothers, but they be dating a woman with a kid. Why? Because you like that woman. So if you dating a lady with a child, even though that was a deal breaker, on social media you say, I will not date women with kids, but then I see you with a woman with a child. Okay, that's your business. But if you can work that out and you're okay with that and you think she's a good woman, then do your thing. Don't let other people's opinions sway what you think is best for you. That's all I'm saying. So, if you've been in a marriage, I've talked about this too. Women who have been married for years, and like that Mary lady, Tina Campbell, they're alleging her husband was cheating the whole marriage, but she was still trying to make her marriage work. But they'll demonize her for staying, calling her stupid for staying. But no, she made a commitment to her husband for better or worse, good sickness and health, rich or poor, good and bad, whatever, to that do us part. So she was trying to honor her vows. And I think it takes tremendous strength to do that, because if you're looking at a person who's supposed to be committed to you and saying that they will honor you back and they don't, and you still trying to honor your part of it, I think it takes more strength to do that. And I think she's more focused on whether she's combative. Maybe she contributed to some of the foolishness, probably, because it takes two. But at least she was willing to say, you know what, I committed to this man and I love him and I'm going to commit to him, even though he ain't fully honoring his side. He gonna have to deal with God with that, and I don't want to be in that position. I don't think she's stupid for staying. That's her choice. That's her choice. What people choose to do in their marriages and their relationships is their business. And this is where I don't want, social media talking points to be misconstrued by what you actually need to do in your real life. Because once we get off these internet places and all these things, you go to your life. And you got to look at your life to say, you know what, am I happy where I am? Or what I'm doing, or who I'm dealing with? Is this really fulfilling me? Am I doing my part, though? If I'm doing my part and that person is just not showing up, should I be here? If I'm still just not getting what I want, then you make the decision. That's your business. I don't really get deep and delve into that. I give my opinions on here, but in real life, I know a lot of people who are going through all types of different things. Black people, white people, because people act like white people are something special. No, there are a lot of white people who are going through it, There are white men who got two women. There are white men who on drugs. There are white men who live with their mamas. There's some of them homeless, dealing with all kind of issues. And women too. There are white women, Mexican women who are in abusive relationships and all kind. People are going through it. It ain't just black folks. People in general are going through stuff. And so at the end of the day, it ain't my business how you deal with it. You deal with it. Now, if you ask me my opinion about it, I'm going to give you my opinion. But at the end of the day, you make the choice. So that's just how that go. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, Night Call 411, for the super chat. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Please hit the like button, y'all. Make sure you are supporting the channel via super chat or Cash App, y'all. Make sure you are doing that. That definitely goes a long way to support the channel. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate y'all being here and listen to what I got to say, y'all. Y'all don't realize how important that is and how much it means to me. Because trust me, y'all, if y'all only knew how shy and how quiet I was, you would be like, girl, good for you. You up here, you talking. Cause baby, I used to be like, zip. I had opinions only in my head. I was afraid to speak out. So I've come a long, long way. But I'm grateful that I have this platform to be able to just give my thoughts and my opinions, and that y'all are listening at least and giving me your thoughts and your opinions. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Thank you, Night Call. I appreciate you once again. All right, let's move on to the shenanigans, y'all. It's about that time. It's about that time. Y'all know how I do. Oh my God. We're about to get into the foolery. The what they call it, as the foolishness turns, as the delusion turns, child. Oh my God. Here we go.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
What's your name, baby?
My name is Stormy.
Stormy. Okay, Stormy, that's your name. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from New York City, from Brooklyn to be exact.
New York City, Brooklyn. How old are you?
43.
43. What do you do for a living?
I'm a dental sterilization technician, and I also hustle. I drive for Uber.
All right, dental sterilization. Shout out to you. Eco 473, thank you for the super chat, says it is better to, I guess, live alone in the desert than with a quarrelsome, complaining wife. Proverbs 21:19. Thank you, Eco 473, for that. I appreciate that. And you're absolutely right. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate the support once again. Night Call 411 says Dr. Night Call Timo Uni Alibaba Community College LMAO. I understand that in marriage, but a lot of people now expect you to absorb their unresolved issues during the talking dating stage before there's even commitment. That's true. And yeah, that could be, that could throw somebody off with somebody just, putting all their trauma and all this stuff on you. And yeah, I get that. I get what you're saying. A very good point. I think could be too much for a person right then and there, So yeah, I agree with that. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you once again, Night Call. Thank you so much for the support. It's Raymond Blunt. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I feel like most Black people look at white people from a different lens. It's almost like if they're struggling, like us, then we look at them as Black. I feel like most people look at the white people from a different lens. It's almost like if they're struggling like us, then we look at them as Black. I get what you're saying, and I do see people who look at it like that. I don't personally. I just look at them as people. They just happen to be white. Even they will tell you, look, I got issues. We ain't this. This is why some white folks are offended by the whole privilege idea, because a lot of them are dirt poor, and they're struggling worse off than some Black people. So some of them are offended by that term, right? White privilege, because they're like, what privilege do I have? I'm broke, I'm poor, I don't have as much as you do. And you're the Black person, and you're supposed to be the struggling one. But a lot of them are struggling and don't have as much as some Black people have. So yeah, they're working everyday people just like everybody else, and they don't have everything at their fingertips. They are really struggling. Like I said, living in trailer parks, and some of them, don't even have a home. So it's a lot. And when you are privy to seeing that, you realize, if you didn't realize it, you realize, damn, these are just human beings. They're not, everybody's not professing to be better, and that's why those people get offended by the idea of that white privilege, because they're like, where's the white privilege? Where's that? I don't see it, So while I think all of that exists, I do get what you're saying too, how people think that, if you see a white person struggling, then you look at them as, because there are some Black people who have never struggled. There are Black people who are affluent, who have never lived in a hood, who've never experienced any negativity, gone to the best schools and all of this. So there's different types of Black folks, just like there are different types of white folks and other folks as well. But people do that though. They do. And I think that's crazy, because you just can't assume every Black person is broken or poor, because they're not. There are people with money who were raised in money, and white folks look at them and be like, damn, I wish I had your life. And I thought all black people, because somebody told you that all black people are poor and in the hood, and that's just not true. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Thank you though, for the super chat. I appreciate you so much. Let's continue, y'all.
Okay.
So I'm a hustler.
You remind me on the mother on that show with 50 Cent. You know what I'm talking about?
Let me.
Power, but it's the one about 50 Cent's character.
Oh, oh shit! It's on the tip of my tongue. I know what you're talking about. Oh, really? Oh, that's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, she's beautiful. You remind me of her. What's the name of
Thank
that
you.
show, y'all? It's not.
Yeah, put it
It's
in
not
chat.
Raising Canaan. You
Rachel,
remind me
yeah,
of
yeah.
Raising Canaan's mother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Raising Canaan. All right, so let's start. Stormy, New York, Brooklyn, 43. You say you do Uber, and what else, honey?
A dental sterilization technician.
Dental sterilization technician. All right. What's your zodiac sign?
The best sign of the zodiac, the freakiest sign of the zodiac, the craziest sign of the zodiac is Scorpio.
When you said the best sign, I just knew you was gonna say Taurus, but then you said the freakiest sign, and we're not known as the freakiest sign. So we got Stormy, New York City, Brooklyn, 43.
I don't know if that's the truth, because there are a lot of freaks out here with all the signs, and so they're just doing all kind of nasty shit, and they're not all Scorpios. So I mean, come on, when you talk about freaky, there's a lot of that lady been with 1,200 men. What's her sign? I don't think she probably not a Scorpio. So all the ones sleeping with 1,200 men, like what's their signs, child? Because I don't know. Well, let's continue.
She works in dental. What did I write down? Oh, Scorpio. She works as a dental technician, also does Uber. Do you have any kids?
I do. I have 3.
Okay, how old are your 3 kids?
12, 6. Well, this year they're going to be 13, 7, and 5.
13, 7, and 5. All by the same man?
Nope, 2 different. I ain't ashamed. The first.
Well, if you gotta say you ain't ashamed, you are.
Oh my God. Yes, you are.
Thank you, Texas Girly 512. Thank you. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
First one, because is a big gap, is a big age difference. That's one, and the last 2 is the same one. So 2 different men. Yep.
Okay, and the 5-year-old, why you not with that dad?
Cheetah. He's a cheetah. Don't date nobody from Barbados. They mostly cheat. Cheetah. That's it.
Don't date nobody from Barbados. So we got Stormy, New York, Brooklyn, 43.
What's she in? Look like, what's this? A meter? Oh, God forgive me. I'm not trying to be funny. No, I'm not, y'all. Please. So I'm not trying. Look like she in a submarine tank. What's the ceilings are super low. God. Okay, I'm just observing, y'all. Don't pay me no mind. I'm observing out loud. It looked like a submarine tank with curtains right here. Let's continue.
Dental technician, also does Uber, mom to 3. Have you ever been married?
No.
No. All right, boo, let's get into it. What kind of man are you looking for?
All right, so I'm 5'10", so I gotta have somebody at least taller than me. You could be 5'10" and a half, but you gotta be 5'10" and a half and up. Someone, that's, kid friendly, of course. You can have kids too. I don't want nobody that don't have kids unless you can't have kids, because I'm not having any more kids. So you have to already have kids. Yeah, somebody down to earth that's nice, because I'm the life of the party. I'm cool. Somebody to easy talk to, easy on the eyes. I'm not a racist, but I'm more like, dark skinned men.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Broke men. I'm allergic to broke men. Let's see. Can we say like?
What if men said they're allergic to broke women?
Oh my God.
They're gonna call them sassy. So women see the stuff women can say, I'm allergic to broke men. Girl, what do you consider broke, girl? Girl, because that's subjective. Now, what if a man say, well, damn, if you're allergic to broke men, you must ain't got no money. Because the only women who worry about men with money are the women who don't have no money. Just saying. They could say that. Then y'all gonna say, oh, he's sassy. Oh, you must be broke, brokey. That's how they talk. What if a man said, I'm allergic to broke women begging for money? Then y'all gonna be mad. Child, let's continue.
Less than if you got like you gotta have at least 8 inches. I'll deal with 8. It can't be if it's smaller than that. That's a deal breaker.
Girl, how do y'all feel comfortable coming on here talking about penis sizes? Where are your morals and like who raised y'all? How could you feel? I would be, oh my God, I'm terrified to come on a social platform and start talking about the size, because you know what that implicates? I'm just saying, what puts people in the, why would you even want to put somebody in a frame of mind about your vagina? And then, because if you're talking about sizes, then people gonna assume, girl, but what you got going on down there? At least that's what I would think anyway. If you start talking about you need 8 inches, well, they like, but damn, what's going on down there that you need that big? I'm just saying. Wouldn't you think, why, and you trying to date somebody seriously, why would you even be talking about that up? Like what? Like really? I don't think they pay attention to what they're saying. Like that is so distasteful and just out of line to be talking about the size. How y'all know what y'all getting? Do y'all measure the man? Do you date a guy and go measure his private parts? How do you know what's going on down there? I'm just saying, like, what do they do? Like, what? And you need that? Like, what's going on with you? I don't know. I always thought about that, but let's continue.
Let me see what else. Yeah, I think I think that's it. Like, you gotta have a good size one, and you gotta be taller than me. And you gotta all right. You don't have to be rich, but I don't like to ask for money. You gotta be like, here, hun, here's some money to do your hair. Here, hun, go do your nails. Here, hun,
And this here, hun, that's how I know they living off of TV shows and movies. Ain't nobody calling you hun right away and they just met you. You talking about a husband and wife may do that, or people who have been in long-term relationships may hun each other or whatever. You just meet somebody. You got 3 kids. That man ain't calling you no goddamn hun. Oh my God. He probably saying the lady with the 3 kids. Like, what you mean hun? And at what point should y'all be calling each other hun? And here's some money. Even if he has money, you think he gonna be, hey hun, here's the money right away. Here. He gonna be like, where the 3 baby daddies at? Because if I give you money, then you gonna be expecting me to do things for them kids. Hold on, red flag, I'm out. I ain't got time for that. I don't want to go broke. Dealing with a brokey. It's you and 3 kids. So hun, here's some money. Then hun, you got something for the kid. Hun, they need some school supplies. Hun, they need to eat. Like, are you insane? Oh my God. Child, no. Let's continue.
No, I don't want to ask. I don't ask. So you have to know how to treat a lady.
Okay. Well, how much money should he make?
I'm in New York City. It's so expensive. So I'm not gonna like put
Well, how much you pay for rent? Because I swear this look like a submarine with curtains. And is this everything seems so low. You know how everything looks so low. That looked like a matchbox. Was she in the kitchen or the what? I seen a thermostat right here. It looked interesting. I'll just say the least. Look, and wherever you live is where you live, baby. Afford what you can afford. I ain't mad at it. But I'm like, when y'all asking for all this money and want men to have all this money, I would think that you're living good yourself to expect for him to provide you with all this money. You should be like, what? I mean, come on. I wouldn't expect you to be in a matchbox. I would expect you to be in something nice if you're expecting all this from a man. I'm just saying. Just saying. And then on top of that, you don't want a broke man. Child. Just saying.
A number on it, because I've been with people that don't have to pay like rent or anything, and they're able to save their money. So it doesn't matter how much you make, as long as you could take care of me and my 3 kids. I'm a hustler too. I'll put in some money, but I want you to still be able to take care of me and my 3 kids too.
Oh, so you want to have 8 inches and you want to be able to provide for you and your 3 children.
Yep.
You know they're gonna come from you in the comment section. So what you
They can come from me. I'll give back too. Like I said, I'm a hustler. I'm a hustle too, but it'd be nice to be treated like a lady. I like to go out to eat. I like to have fun, karaoke, go bowling. I like to go out and have fun. So
you've never been treated like a lady? Oh my God. That's a red flag. You've never had a man to treat you like a lady? That's a red flag. So what type of men have you been dealing with that they don't treat you like a respectable lady? That should be a given for women who present themselves like respectable ladies. That you demand that off rip. So any man that would date you understands that they got to respect you and treat you like a lady. Have you not gotten that treatment? And see, this is what I be saying. A lot of women have not had that treatment. And it's not just because the man is just low down dirty. It's just because you don't present yourself in that way. So he treats you the way you treat yourself and the way you present yourself. But if you are a respectable young lady, you automatically get that treatment. Now, I'm not gonna say here and there some fool might holler out or say something, because I've had cat calls before when I was younger and stuff, when I was younger, before I was married. But that's it, but have somebody blatantly disrespect, no. No, because you demand a certain level of respect based off of how you treat yourself and how you present yourself. So the fact that that's a red flag right there. Nobody's ever treated you like a lady and you want that for once in your life, that says a lot. Manny E, thank you for the super chat, says, I can't take Kendra G serious. She keeps asking about zodiac signs. Kendra is not even serious about her own life. Hot mess. Oh my God. Thank you, Manny. I appreciate you so much for being here and for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, they take those zodiac signs really seriously, child. I don't put much stock into it because I don't think they really matter. But a lot of women do. A lot of modern women do, though. Let's continue.
You gotta make something treat me like a lady. Yes, I know I'm old. You want to come for me in the comments. 43, 3 kids, 2 baby daddies. It's all good. It's somebody for everybody. So I'll find somebody.
Ain't no somebody for everybody, boo boo. I didn't know she was 43. I thought she was 33. Okay, 43, 3 kids. Yeah, that's gonna be a struggle. That's gonna be a struggle. Pierre, Delegance. Pierre Delegans 720, I hope I'm saying that right, says, what trips me out is that these women don't even be attractive, to say the least, and have all these demands. Exactly. They present themselves as if they have all control over the dating game. Facts. Straight up facts. I say it all the time. Some of the most unattractive, dry lip, dry face, big old women be the ones talking about they want a full protector and a provider, a man who gonna pay all their bills and take them shopping and understand who and what they are, and all of this will be some of the most unattractive, unseen. I ain't trying to harp on that, but yeah, it be the ones with the bonnets on and the dry faces expecting a millionaire. Make that make sense, child. I don't know. Society done screwed these women up. Got them real cooked, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. Oh my God. I'm just saying. Thank you, Pierre. I appreciate the super chat. Child, it don't make no sense at all. Azu Maswala says, talk about dingus size on the internet and want to be treated like a lady. You can't make this stuff up, people. Exactly. It's just, there's no tact. No, nothing. Like, why would you, like, come on, a man looking at this will be turned off. And I don't think they get it. That's why they're still struggling out here to try to find somebody. And they want somebody because if they didn't want anybody, Kendra show wouldn't have no guests. All the guests on there want somebody, clearly, but they're having trouble finding them. Thank you for the super chat once again. I appreciate you. The Marty V 500, thank you so much for the super chat, says, can't believe I'm catching you live for the first time. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you so much for being here. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for supporting the channel and for your comment. Thank you so much. Let's continue.
Out there.
Yeah, okay. Let's do the Kendra can.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. I didn't prepare for this. So I hope y'all can kind of see. I got on baggy stuff. I ain't got no ass, but
What are you doing?
Well,
oh my God.
I'm trying to make y'all see me.
Stormy, when was your last relationship?
About a year and a half ago.
A year and a half ago. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
Oh, someone, because I'm about to say, well, these fingers was like 4 hours ago, but somebody was like, yeah, about a year ago. About a year.
You have to tell me about the fingers.
They don't have
Oh, sorry. Okay.
those.
My fault. My bad.
Just,
TMI, TMI.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Woo, child. What are 3 flaws you have to work on, girl?
What does that mean? Flaws? Okay, I know we all got flaws. So I'm going to the gym, so I gotta, tone up. The face card, I don't want to change anything about my face. I just gotta tone up. Um, yeah, my boobs, 3 kids. Yeah, they hang to my knees. So if I could find somebody to give me some breast reduction, I could work on that too.
Girl, if you 43 and your titties are hanging to your knees, that's a problem. I don't think no man on this internet gonna look at that as something to take seriously. Ain't no man out the gate want to go with a woman that's got her titties hanging down to her knees. If anything, he'll look at that as a play toy. Like he'll swing them while he, screwing you, raw dogging you if you let him. He ain't trying to take you seriously with swinging titties. Like, come on, why would what? Once again, it is TMI. Like y'all don't have no. This is what I'm saying. So it makes sense for her to say she has never had a man. She want to be treated like a lady as if she's never had that treatment. But look how she's talking. Now she's not. I don't think she's a bad looking woman at all. But why you got 3 kids, 43 years old, titties hanging down to your knees? Like that man is already looking at you like a grandma. Like, ooh, yeah, grandma got a vagina. Yeah, they'll wax that cooch, but they not trying to like see you as an experiment. I'm just saying, like now if you are a man out here, don't get it twisted. If you are a man out here and you like that, my bad. I ain't trying to knock your hustle. If you like that and you ready to take on a woman with kids and you like her, that's your business. I'm not knocking it. No, I'm really not. I'm just giving my opinion. Most men don't want a woman with 3 kids, 43 years old, and your titties hanging down to your knees. They might look at that as a science project. They're not looking at as, ooh, she attractive and fine. I want to be with her, and that's enough for me to take on them kids because, ooh, she still looks so good. And then you drop your bra and your titties down to your knees? Like, what? Oh, my God. Nah, just hearing it doesn't sound appealing. I'm just saying. Y'all ever watch, this makes me think of, what's her name? Damn, what's her name? What she say? The lady with the long titties. What's Shan? What's her name? I forgot her name. Damn, y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, I forgot me and her collaborated together. That's a shame. I don't forgot the girl name. But she always showed that lady with the long titties. She had an accent, the long titties. What's her name? Oh my God, I can't. Shan reactions. What's her name? Shan. Damn, I forget her name. That's crazy. And I work with the lady. But anyway, she would show the lady with the long flat titties, and I'm like, everybody looking at that. A man with no kids, got his stuff together. He don't want no Chantel. Yes. Thank you. Thank y'all. Cause I be forgetting people's names. I know Chantel. I couldn't think her name for Jack-ish. Chantel Simone. Shout out to Chantel. Chantel used to have me cracking up every time she said that lady with the long titties. That lady had them long flat titties, and I'll just be weak. Okay? Well, you think men looking at that as, ooh, baby, I want you to be my wife. No, they're like, I'll play with them long titties while I'm banging the hell out of you, and then after that, I'm out. I'm disgusted. What y'all call it? Post, you know what y'all call it. And that's it. Like, come on, hey, you got 3 kids? Nah, I'm not taking care. You want me to pay all the bills, take it hell to the no. I'm not doing that. Oh my God. So wow, you would think that you wouldn't even bring up long titties. Like you would leave that off to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that. He shouldn't even know about your long titties until, y'all decide to become intimate, and then you still should keep your bra on. I'm just saying. Because you take that bra off and boom, he going to be like, well, goddamn, okay. I don't care at this point. I'm going to get what I came for, and then after that, I'm out. But I ain't going to be seeing you, but I ain't going to take you seriously is all I'm saying. Yeah, they'll bang as long as you let them, but, I ain't trying to take you seriously. Night Call 411 says, when did dating shift from earning deeper commitment over time to expecting girlfriend-wife treatment from day one before trust, consistency, or effort are built? Yeah, I mean, because it's a money game. It's all about money. It's about an experience. It's about a lifestyle. It's not really about real commitment and the things that really help to shape and build a relationship. It's about money. So that's why they want all this up front, because they're looking to gain something. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I come from a time where you didn't care about, well, there was always gold diggers, but you know, if you're not a gold digger, you didn't care about how much money the man made, but you just know you know that he was a working man. He was consistent. He had his own place. He was taking care of himself. He dressed nice. He got himself put together. He wasn't rich, but he did well for himself. That's no longer enough nowadays because these women don't want to work themselves. You know, you meet a guy that's put together, you working too, and then y'all come together. If you know, if that's how you meet him and that's what y'all got going on. No, that's not enough anymore. Just to have a stable man or a quality stable guy with a stable job or a business or whatever he got going on is not enough anymore. These women think they can get rich men. They really do. And they know that's a small percentage of men. And those men are looking for certain type of women. They don't want 3-time baby mamas with long titties. I'm just saying. They can get a beautiful, any kind of woman they want, who's fit and in shape. He don't want her to take her bra off and the titties fall down to knees. That's not something you say. And if you think that that's going to be an issue, then you got to take care of that. That's not for him to have to want to deal with, or you expect him to deal with, and then all of your expectations. So yeah, they're gonna learn the hard way. Thank you, Night Call, for 11. Once again, I appreciate you. Let's continue.
That's 2, right? What's the third one? I can't think of a third one. I don't know what's the third one.
Stormy,
I don't know. Body.
Off the chain. I think every Stormy I know is pretty much off the chain now that I think about it.
I don't. It's just I don't try. I'm not trying to be. Yeah, that's only 2. I'm sorry, I can't think of a third one, but that's the 2.
Okay, Stormy. You say you've never been married, but you want to get married.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Should he be in Brooklyn?
Yes. It could be in 5 boroughs, but I mean, it could be anywhere in the States. I don't mind. You know, if somebody really like you, they would travel. I would travel anywhere in the States. I don't want anybody from another country and I got to marry them for a green card. No green card here. So it got to be in the States.
Got to be in the States. Okay. And then this is Brooklyn. She's in Brooklyn. What's the age range you would date? You're 43.
I'm 43. So I like older guys, but I would go down to 38 to, man, if I meet somebody that's 80 years old that got money and want to take care of me. So 38, 37 to plus up. No limit.
Okay. All right. Coffee Killer said, you want a high value man. Are you prepared to compete for the man you're asking for?
I am. Let me know what I got to do. Yes, I am.
Girl, you're going to have to get rid of the long titties. Oh my God. The long titties. You're going to have to get rid of the long titties. Because these men, if you trying to compete and I don't think there's nothing you could do at this point because you got 3 kids. So that's you already at a disadvantage. You got 3 kids, you're 43, and you have long titties. You said by your own admission down to your knees. So most men don't want that. They can go find them an attractive 20-year-old with nice perky titties, slim waist, small body, no kids, child, and be in a whole different world. You ain't no competition, ma'am. You might be a nice, cool chick and all, that's cool, but you there's no competition, boo. There's not. MIA Adam 305, thank you for the super chat, says you can be who you want to be on your own story. I know that's right. Oh my God. Yeah, yes you can. And as in your own story, you can be whoever you want to be, whoever you dreaming of. You can be as delusional as you want. You sure can, but in somebody else's story, that don't work. Exactly. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. I agree 100%. Somebody says she's cooked. Yes, she is. There's no competition, ma'am. You put yourself in a position to where there is no competition for you. You're cooked. Unless, you know what I'm saying, you just be happy with what you got. Because this is what nobody tell these women when they out here saying have your fun in your 20s and all that. They lied to y'all and they screwed y'all up for potential long-term relationships. Now, she said she get an 80-year-old man at this point because now you know that there's no real options for you at this point. You'll take an 80-year-old man who might be okay with you because you may seem young to him, but even he ain't gonna take you. He wants to put that old thing on you, and that's it too, and give you a few dollars till he get tired. You know, and at 80, I mean, come on, you ain't getting too much. Thank you once again for the super chat. So I mean, you that desperate, you gonna take an 80-year-old man and give him your cooch because that's the only one who but he could probably even do better. If he got money like that, it could take care of you and your 3 kids. Well, he would pick a younger woman too without the long titties, unless he's, into circuses and stuff. And he like, ooh, let's see what they could do. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
I think I got it like that, and I could compete. I mean, if y'all talking about age, okay, maybe I can't compete with age, but I could still, these knees still work. I could still get down and come back up. Like, what?
What that?
Okay, Stormy said, and what? She's ready. All right, Stormy, why would a guy be lucky to be with your ass?
I know, my crazy ass. I'm the life of the party. I'm really like down to earth. I'm a nice person. I think I'm too nice. Maybe that's my flaw. I'm too nice. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. But as a Scorpio, yeah, you do something to me. Oh shit. Oh, hold on. Oh man, I didn't pay the light bill. 1 second. Hold on.
You paid the light bill.
What? Yeah, I know. I touched my camera light came off, so I had to put on the other light. But yes, I'm a nice person.
Hold on.
No, I'm just messing. No, I'm just joking. No blackout. No, like
they cut the lights off at night. They will do that in the morning, right?
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, my foot hit the plug by mistake.
Okay, let's take it from the top. Why would a man be lucky to be with you?
Right. So I'm a nice person. I'll give you, I'm a life of the party. I will give you my last. Like, I'm a good listener. Yeah, I could talk, but I am a good listener. And I believe in 100, not 50-50. So we still gonna meet halfway. But yeah, I do want somebody that thinks, that could take care of me. But I'll still add in what I could add in. But I'm a nice person. Trust me. I'm not using anybody. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I'm not going to use you because you have money. If you have money and I like you, you're going to be treated like a king.
Okay. You got some more questions. You ready for them?
Go ahead.
All right. So King of Javert just said, do you have any sons? If so, would you allow your hardworking son, who you groomed to be a high value earning man, would you allow him to take care of a woman who has 3 children from 2 different men?
Yeah, you're right. Hell no, I wouldn't. But I still want a man to help me take care of mine.
Oh my God.
I got two.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. At least she was honest. She told the truth. That's it. That's the truth. They wouldn't even want their sons to do what they're asking. Go figure. This is insane. You wouldn't want your sons to do what you're asking a man to do for you. So that ought to show y'all that ain't right. It ain't right. That's not what you should be expecting from a man. And y'all done messed up, but you want what you want and you're going to try to get it. No matter, even if you know it's right, whether you know it's wrong or right, you still want it. So you still going to try to get it. But your son brought a woman with 3 kids, 2 baby daddies, talking about, I want your son and I want him to pay all the bills. You gonna be held to no, not my son. How many times? Come on, we not stupid. But this is where we are. They know what they're doing is wrong, but they want it anyway because they don't have no other option, no other choices. You made your bed, now you gotta lie in it. You know most men don't want that. So you gotta just go take care of your kids till they grown, and by that time, nobody, the jig is up. It's over. You did it. Y'all did it to yourselves. That's crazy. I'm glad they asked that question because that is the truth. They wouldn't want their sons to accept the thing that they're trying to get from a man now. Baby, I'm glad she said it. Remain Stainless 757 says, real question. What is she offering that matches she demanded? Nothing. She said she's a nice person. She probably is. She seems fun and seems lively. I'm not denying that she might not be a nice person, but girl, just them 3 kids and you want to take care of you fully. What you giving them? You already talking about your titties down to your knees. You need a big old PP man part. So that down there might not be to their liking. I don't know. But I'm assuming because she's saying that maybe, like, what else? Like, ain't that much nurturing and love in the world? Like, I don't think women in this position could demand a man to pay all their bills, just take care of them and their kids. I think you should have to work with the man. I think you have to bring a lot to the table because there's a lot that you bring. So because you bring a lot, you got to bring a lot. Because you got a lot of the liability, you should be looking to bring the most. You shouldn't be looking for a man to pay all the bills. You need to be paying the majority of the damn bills and let him come in and fit in where he get it if he's willing to deal with you. I'm just saying. There's no incentive for a man to do that, and that's what they didn't add up. They didn't add up that cost. Thank you, Remain Stainless. I appreciate you. Good question. MIA Adam 305 says, when Chantel say long titties, she's talking about a woman with kids. That's what that means. Long TTs equal children. Well, it's funny because I saw when she said that there was a literal woman in her video with flat, long titties. I saw them, and she usually she would come on and in her videos, and I had a meme of the lady at one time. I just didn't want to put her out there like that. There's a meme that she used to show on her video, and the lady had long titties. Now I don't know if she referred to it as that, like you're saying, but I saw the lady with them when she would put it up there, and it was hilarious, and it just looked very bad. I'm just saying, but yeah, but thank you, MIA Adams. I appreciate you, MIA Adam 305. I appreciate you. Yeah. That's crazy. Let's continue.
Boys and a girl. And you're right. I'm a realist, and I wouldn't, but if he's happy and I see that she's treating him good and he's treating her, they both, you can't get into nobody's relationship. Even as a mother or father, if you see your child is happy, that's what counts. I wouldn't want my child to be with an older woman, or, my boy to be with an older woman, or my daughter to be with an older guy. But if they treating them good, it depends on the age. I mean, women are different. I'm not talking about my daughter because I got to carry my shotgun. But boys,
Yeah, but where's the daughter's father? Like, shouldn't he be in their lives and have something to do with that, or have some say? Why is it all on you? Where's her father? That's where they go wrong. This is why men don't choose them, because it shows that you pick poorly and you make bad decisions. That's why men don't want to be responsible for your bad decisions. Period. Let's continue.
The age, as long as they legal, if your child is happy, I would. And not to stray away from what I'm talking about. My brother, he don't have any kids. He's younger than me. He's 30 something. He's with a woman that got 3 kids. She can't have any more kids. She's older than him. He flew from New York to Florida to live with her. She took him in. She got a house. She's a traveling nurse. He said he don't want no kids. He's a stepdad to her 3 kids. So, and he's happy. If he really don't want kids, he's happy. I'm happy for him. Okay. So I would be happy for my kids.
Okay, they got questions for you, girl. Zarina Investment says, what does the man you want from you? Are you aware you have to compete with other women who want the same man? Some of those don't come with the already made family.
Right. So I know I have to compete with other women, younger women, women with no kids. I get that. But like I said, I feel like there's somebody for everybody. Like, I'm not like desperate, if I find somebody, I find somebody. If I don't, I don't, tomorrow's another day. But you could always, I hear stories all the time. Like, you could meet somebody that have 7 kids, 7 different baby daddies, and they get married tomorrow. So I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah, but ma'am, that is not common. That is not common. In their dreams, they wish that would happen. Most of these women would wish that would happen, but that is not the case. And then a lot of times, if they get into relationships, they end up breaking up. I mean, we saw that story of that man who married this white woman with those kids, and then she left him. He adopted her children, and then she left him, child. Now, he got to pay child support because he adopted the kids. He legally adopted them, so they're his kids. So now you got to pay child support for all the kids. Now, she left him. She can go get her another man and play around another man while he paying for all of these children. And he had 2 kids with her, but all her other 3 or 4 or whatever, they're his now. Now, he got to pay child support after she divorced him. Like, come on. That is not a common... Those relationships rarely work, or you rarely see that happen. That's not so, they can only hope and wish and dream because you got your kids now. You can't undo the kids, so you're just in that position. There's nothing you could do about it. You know what I mean? But hope and dream and try to manifest it. But 9 times out of 10, that ain't gonna happen. Remain Stainless, 757 says she run through like a turnstile, but screening men like the TSA. Like, she's TSA. Child.
Oh my God.
Yes, Lord. Yeah. I mean, look, thank you for the super chat once again. I appreciate you. But yeah, they don't realize the mistake that they've made until it's already done. And then when they start seeing the consequences and how it's not going to add up, then they start trying to manifest and try to look at other situations to find the far and few between situations that where men have taken on women with multiple children and multiple baby daddies, and they take that as a sign that, oh, see, it could happen for me, but it more than likely is not, because men just don't want that. Thank you once again. I appreciate you for the super chat, y'all. Let's continue.
Confident. I know I look good, and I'm gonna find me a man.
Okay.
And there you have
Okay.
it. Okay. I love that you were willing to.
I can't even do the Cardi B. Okay. That's good.
You definitely got a good personality, Stormy. Okay, now the time has come. How can the guy reach out to you?
Oh,
yeah, so we don't need to see that part, but yeah, hopefully she gets what she wants. And I always say that, listen, look, I hope you get what you want, because I'm not a hater, and I'm not trying to, stop people from getting. I'm trying to give you information to help you get what you want. And to me, a lot of these women are just, they've already made those choices, and you can't take them back. And what you get is what you get. But for the women who have not made, I'm trying to get through to younger women who have not made these choices and give you a different perspective, so that you'll realize, hey, if you want a better chance in your, to find a man that cares and want to marry you and want to be with you and want to build with you, you got to be open and willing to build with him and give him some of what he wants too. Nobody is perfect. So there's no perfect woman, perfect man. But if y'all have the core values and y'all want to be with each other, then you'll make it work. And you understand that a relationship is ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It's not, oh, he got to do everything you want and that makes him a good man. No, you got to understand that y'all got to work with each other. It takes work on both sides. And you got to be cooperative, submissive. That means, wanting to work with the man and wanting to be open to his direction and his guidance. And y'all work with each other and help each other out. To me, that's the best relationships, when y'all working together. I'm sorry. I don't think there should be one controlling aspect or the other, because women like to control men too. I think the relationships that have stood the test of time, people who have been married 20, 30, 40 years and still married, are the ones who understand cooperation and working together. You know what I mean? Y'all work together for one common goal, to figure it out, get over the hump, and still be able to live and be happy with each other. That's it. It's not no perfect science. It is not no, you know what I mean? No one way to do it, but the core common ways that people who have been married for long years and are still together share the things I'm telling you. Hey, cooperation, communication, working with each other, understanding, learning each other, learning to compromise. You got to compromise in a relationship in some way, shape, or form. It's not always your way or always your way, but y'all got to come to some common ground where y'all can agree to keep the peace. Not only that, but to love on each other and not argue all the time and not go at odds with each other, but to work together, build together. That's what that's all about. That's what makes a relationship work. Anything besides that typically doesn't work. Anytime you're trying to be superior to the other one and you want them to do everything you want and it's my way or the highway, that shit don't work. Usually that somebody's going to walk away. And typically it's the women that are going to walk away. And if a man just is with a woman and just allows her to do anything she wanted to, that don't work either. That ain't gonna work either, because she doesn't respect you. You let her do what she wants. You thinking that that's loving and giving her what she wants is gonna make her happy 24/7, and she's still not gonna be happy, baby. She's still gonna be trying to screw somebody behind your back because she gonna deem you weak. And so this is why I say, no, you gotta find somebody that's gonna work with you and y'all work together. And you can't, and there's no other way. That's no other way, in my opinion. So yeah, that's just the way it is. Azul Maswala says her options are prison bait or green card bait. Oh my God! Or to be by herself, child. Yeah, because it just ain't gonna work. Not with no 3 kids at 43 years old. Now, if she can beat the odds and find somebody, kudos to her. Once again, I'm not mad at you finding somebody, and I wouldn't call that man a simp. It might be simpish behavior, but hey, if that's what he wants to do and he can handle it, and he thinks she's a good enough woman to do it, let him try. Hell, maybe it might work, maybe it won't. That's his business. That's his choice. That's all I'm saying. You can make the choices that you want. They don't always work out, but nothing is guaranteed. But, usually those types of situations don't work out. But hey, if she can find what she wants, kudos to her. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up here. Listen, shout out to each and every person in the live stream. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Listen, as we come to a close, like they say in church, make sure you hit the like button on your way out, y'all. Make sure you are supporting the videos that are already posted on the channel. I try to post videos every single day. Make sure you go over and like it, watch it, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? Share it, like all that good stuff. It supports the channel to grow, you guys. Also, if you are in the building and you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. That definitely helps the channel as well. Pierce Delegate 720. Thank you once again for the super chat. No, I say Pierce, Lord. Pierre Delegance 720. I hope I'm saying that right. Says, hey, Dee, it's D Elegance. Oh, my bad. My bad. I'm glad you said that. The Elegance, but just call me Pierre. Thank you. I appreciate you. But to make a long story short, the good men get the devil's leftovers. Oh my God. That's crazy. And I don't like that. You know, because I have sons. I don't want them with the devil's leftovers, child. I don't want that. That's crazy. But that's why the dating market is the way it is. You know, it's just, you know, hopefully it can get better. Hopefully people learn the errors of their ways and try to change and do something better so that people can have successful relationships and families, y'all. But it's just crazy out here in these streets. And I see it on a daily basis, y'all. It's just insane. But thank you once again, D Elegance, Pierre D Elegance 720. Thank you so much for coming through, and thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank y'all once again. Shout out to everybody who gave super chats or cash apps. Shout out to everybody who liked the stream. Shout out to everybody in the building just for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all stay tuned for more to come. Like I said, watch the videos posted on the channel. Yeah, and just continue to support the content. All right. So, and tell a friend, tell somebody else about the channel, tell them to come subscribe. You know what I'm saying, to support and help the channel to grow. So thank y'all so much. Once again, I'll be back really soon. Y'all be careful, be safe out here in these streets, and I will catch you in the next one. Love you guys. Until next time, y'all be cool. Y'all be peace. Y'all be safe and be peaceful. All right. Thank y'all so much, and I'll see you later. Mwah. Bye.
You laugh and my heart chokes. Like might as everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah, every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. In every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I get it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that get you. I get you.